Facebook Live out here in the parking lot and talked about this as well. It is a swing type of opportunity. And here's why I say this. I mean, normal circumstances, if you're a team and you get buried at 1-4 in the first month and then the week into the second month of the NFL season, oftentimes you're going to get buried. For example, people are talking about Kansas City after their loss last night at home to Buffalo as being a team that could find itself on the outside looking in, and the reason why is because the rest of that division, especially with the LA Chargers, for example, has played well. Now, the Raiders are probably just going to go ahead and backpedal here. The Broncos I never bought into, but that is the difference between when you have a team or a division like the AFC South with Jacksonville, with Houston in it, and with Tennessee, even with the Titans winning yesterday, which, by the way, if you're a betting person, if you logged on to FanDuel Sportsbook, or if you listen to us in our Larceny Bourbon Locks and Luna Azul Tequila Shots on Thursday from Coaches Downtown, the easiest call in the NFL yesterday was that game. That was the easiest call. You knew exactly where that was going. It might have been even the easiest call in the NFL so far this season, was that game. And if you were smart, you went that direction with the Titans and you never looked back. And that's what we're talking about here. You have to take care of what you should be able to take care of. Now, granted, with the Colts, there's a little bit more to it because they have a lot to prove. They have a lot to prove to not just the folks that cover them, but to the fan base. And I'll tell you all about that and more coming up in just a second. Again, I want to set the stage. We're at the CarX location on Northfield Drive. We're in Brownsburg. So they are open. My man Joe Childers is here. He wants to tell you about a lot of things that they're doing, not just today, but for the remainder of the week. And then coming up on Saturday with their grand opening, too. We'll get Joe on here in a little bit to talk about that. You probably know Joe. You know Anthony. I talk about him all the time here. They give you great service no matter. We're talking about the Brownsburg location, which is all new, or throughout central Indiana and the Donut counties and Marion County here in the area. He covers all 14 of these CarX locations, and we're going to make sure that you maintain your fall road readiness here either today or the remainder of the week. We'll talk to Joe about that coming up a little bit later on. And if you want to stop by CarX in Brownsburg, if you listen to the show, you want to stop in, here's what's kind of funny. I'm going to be here until 7:30 because I'm here until 7:30. That means Joe's going to be here until 7:30 because not only am I doing this show, but at 5:30 I transition to the Colts pregame huddle, and we'll be doing that Colts pregame huddle pregame show until 7:30. And Matt Taylor, Lara Overton, and Rick Venturi start the countdown to kickoff to take you up to that Monday nighter in Baltimore for you as well. So that's kind of the way that it looks from all of our standpoints. By the way, I'll be here in Brownsburg. Former Colts offensive lineman Joe Wrights is going to be in studio where Kyle Udemark is right now. And the Gorman is going to be on the road at, I think it's called M&T Bank Stadium now. M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore for this Monday nighter. So we have you set. I'll be here in Brownsburg until 7:30 tonight. So if you want to slide by and join us, it is a great time. You can slide by, get your set of wheels into one of these bays, make sure that they're fall road ready with our good friends from CarX. We're at the CarX location. It is brand new in Brownsburg today. Meantime, I'd mentioned regarding this game being a gauge of sorts, and you go back to Miami last week, and the first half had mixed results, but the second half was as good as we've seen this team play football so far this year. The issue is that Miami just simply isn't any good. And the gauge, as I mentioned, the proof that everybody's looking for is for the Colts to be able to play at that type of level and sustain that against a good team. A year ago, you saw the Ravens come into Lucas Oil Stadium, and in the first half, whatever the Colts were doing defensively was getting done. I mean, that was as good a defensive effort for at least a half that we have seen, considering what you have to prepare for in playing against Lamar Jackson and that offense of the Ravens. They are going to want to punch you in the mouth. I know that's an overused cliche term, but that's exactly what they want to do. You know, when you hear all the time about how football teams have to play tough, football teams have to be strong, football teams have to punch you in the mouth, hit you in the mouth, all that stuff, oftentimes that is cliche. And it just wastes a little bit of word time. But in the case of the Ravens, that's exactly what they want to do. Now, they can hit you down the field. They can absolutely do that, too, because they have a guy, Marquise Brown, that can get down the field. They have one of the more consistent and Mark Andrews tight ends in the National Football League as well. They can get you down the field and make big plays, but they do want to come out and make it tough on you. And they've had a myriad of injuries, especially as we've documented at the running back position, and they have been able to not just maintain, but be as good. I mean, you look at their rushing numbers are incredible considering who they have right now running the football and who they thought they were going to have running the football. I mean, guys that have been good in the NFL, don't get me wrong. I mean, guys like Latavius Murray, Le'Veon Bell, Deontay Freeman, guys that have been good in the NFL, but guys that have been good in the NFL, 4 and 5 years ago, not in 2021, and that speaks to the system. That speaks to what they want to do. Now, granted, that also speaks volumes about who the quarterback is and how much you have to prepare for that particular quarterback, how much that entails, how much of the focus. And a year ago, defensively, I thought whatever the Colts did in the first half worked. But whatever the Colts did in the second half, both sides of the football did not. That's when you saw a year ago the difference between a team that talks tough and is tough, and a team like the Colts that wants to be tough, that wants to run the damn football, that wants to grind it like that, and when the going does get tough, they go away. That's the difference. You saw a difference a year ago in the first half and the second half. And tonight, that's exactly what the Ravens are going to want to do. And we'll see if they're able to impose that tough will that they have. And that's not just cliched. That's not just something you write on the locker room wall and some half-assed coach regurgitates over and over and over again. That is the real deal. That's what they do. The Colts have wanted to be like that. They want to be able to run the football. They want to be able to rely on what they do up front with that offensive line. Now, again, I was on a national show, and I don't even know what it was yesterday, but apparently a lot of people listened to it. As you can tell, the fact that I can immediately tell you what it is probably tells you all you need to know. But they called me, they go, hey, you want to go on? And I was down at my mom's in GC, and I said, well, wait a minute. I don't have a signal because, I'm in I think I could say BFE on here without getting anybody in trouble. That's where I am. I don't have a signal. Hold on a second. Let me run on top of this hill, this cemetery, and I'll do something live. I did Chris Hagan and 59 last night on Sports Overtime from the top of this hill, the cemetery in Owensburg. So I went ahead and did this show as well. And that's what was talked about. Hey, the ideal way of putting together and what Chris Ballard has tried to do blueprint-wise with this Colts team, how is that working? And frankly, it's not. I mean, the results show that it is not working. Now, if you want, you can go ahead and say, well, look at the injuries they have, and Quentin Nelson and Braden Smith, which is still just one of the incredible mysteries of the season so far, is, no IR. It's kind of a week-to-week thing now of him not practicing. Eric Fisher coming back, right, from that injury suffered in the AFC title game, coming back quicker than what everybody thought. But again, sorry, the results are still what you're looking for. The results from an offensive line that not only was supposed to be good with the frontline guys, but remember all this depth conversation that we've had over the years. All this depth, and this is what we have, and we're building grassroots. And these are the games tonight where you have to prove that. I mean, you can talk about it in the off season. This is what we want to do. And these are the types of games where you need to prove it. Granted, last week's a little bit different because not only was that a game of the second half against the team that you should beat anyway, but that was a game in the second half where you absolutely had to win that. I mean, you could not be staring at 0-5 in the face here. I mean, even with the bad AFC South, you just could not be doing that. But granted, this is a situation where people are looking for more. Colts fans are looking for more. I'll give you a great example. I got friends of the show right here. I got a kid that's rocking a Jonathan Taylor jersey right in front of me. If there's anything that this Colts team should know offensively is that when you rush over 6.5 per clip, that you probably should continue to go to that. Are they going to be able to run the football behind Jonathan Taylor? They should, right? But, I mean, Baltimore brings it defensively, too. You know exactly that they're thinking they should be able to do that. They're thinking they can get after the quarterback. They're thinking they can get after a quarterback who's still coming back from a couple of bum ankles to get into the shape that is necessary, but putting a lot of pressure on him, forcing him to make bad decisions, which, honestly, he hasn't made a majority of them. I hear a lot of national guys, and they're going to suggest that they're just on a higher level than what we see. But a lot of the national guys, have mentioned that, well, here's the problem with Carson Wentz. The problem has not been with Carson Wentz, and I know that if you say that, that means you don't know what you're talking about or you don't know offense. Carson Wentz has been what this team wanted so far. That's exactly what he has been. I mean, might he hold on to the ball longer? You knew that he was when you brought him in. You knew exactly what he was. I called it reckless, in the same fashion in which Andrew Luck was reckless. What happened in 2018? After 19 different injuries, they figured out that the offense that they were using for Andrew Luck was putting him, along with his recklessness, in bad situations. He was always out. He was always injured. What did they do? They taught him, or Tom House and others taught him how to throw again, and then they introed to him a different form of passing, different, shorter routes, quicker rhythm stuff that they did not do, starting with Bruce Arians all the way through Pep Hamilton into whatever the hell that the Chud era was there too, and then ultimately trying to figure it out with a dinged and a restarted Andrew Luck. So they did. I mean, they did do that. And this was something that I think needs to be more introduced to what you have right now, to Carson Wentz. And not just because it's Carson Wentz, but because it's an offensive line that we don't know if they're going to be, even when healthier, able to protect a guy that does move around and extends the play in the fashion in which he does. Here's the one thing we do know. We do know that they did it very well a year ago with Phillip Rivers. Phillip Rivers got rid of the ball in 3 seconds or less. Snap, ball gone. Yes, that seems like that was a much better fit for this offensive line than what this has been so far. And a lot of people want to blame this on the quarterback and the quarterback not making quick decisions and all that. To me, this has been certainly more about the offensive line. Again, it was supposed to support and lift back into position a quarterback that looked like he was damaged goods a year ago. He looked like he was done, and frankly, he hasn't looked that way so far. All right, I mean, he's not MVP, but you look at the numbers. You look at how many times he's turned the ball over, which has been once. The way that he has protected the football, that is what Jim Irsay was talking about when he joined us back in the spring. That's what he had a question about, and that's what he talked about with Frank Reich and Chris Ballard. And he was made assured that this was going to be something that was going to be fixed. He was sure at the end of that conversation that he was going to be able with this offensive line to support a guy that looked the way that he did, he being Carson Wentz a year ago in Philadelphia. Carson Wentz has looked pretty good. The offensive line, whether it's injured or not, simply hasn't. And that's the situation that they're in, again, coming up later on tonight. There is a wide berth between what we saw, and it was good. It was good, especially in the moment. What we saw in the second half in Miami, with this offense especially, compared to what you're going to see coming up later on tonight in Baltimore. a couple of things that was asked of me. So what'd you think? How'd you feel about what you saw in that second half against Miami? You saw Carson Wentz, I thought offensively, you saw him get more comfortable with the guys he was throwing to. We'll see if that holds true later on tonight. And what I mean by that is not comfortable in throwing it, right where you can catch it, in the so-called catch radius, but just throwing it outside of the comfort zone and then feeling that his guys can go and get it. And last week, those guys did go and get it, whether it was Mo Alley-Cox or Jack Doyle or Michael Pittman Jr. Those guys last week went and got it. They're going to be able to against this team, this Ravens defense coming up later on tonight. Again, it is one of those things where it's a gauge. It's another step, and it's a step that you've been looking for a while. It's been a step that we have constantly questioned since Ballard and Reich have taken over. The ability or the inability to beat a good team. And there have been few examples of it so far. And yet another opportunity to do it, especially on the road and especially on Monday night, is a huge deal coming up later on tonight. It's simply a big deal. It would be nice. Do I expect it? Not so much. But it would be nice to see it because it would give you, to me, it'd give you a whole different landscape on how to view this team moving forward if they were able to play with a playoff divisional championship deep into the postseason type of team that has maybe the most diverse weapon of any position, especially that of quarterback in the NFL. I mean, frankly, that guy can put a ton of pressure on you. A gauge indeed. We can hit that at 239-1070. Email address is jmv at 1070thefan.com. Show is on Twitter at jmv1070. We're inside the lounge via YouTube Live. I know Kyle has that up and going in our studio back there, so if you guys want to check it out, that would be fantastic. You can get the conversation going inside the lounge via YouTube Live. And again, as I mentioned, I'm not going to be in studio. I'm going to be out of the studio all week doing this show, so it is going to be up to those inside the lounge, the regulars there. It's kind of like Cheers, right? Like if Sam left for a week or two and came back, he would hope that guys like Norman Cliff and Frazier would continue to uphold the greatness that is Cheers, and that's what I expect out of you inside the lounge via YouTube Live. You got to keep this thing going until we're back in studio coming up at this time next week. So, yeah, keep it going, the conversation. You can watch, even though there's really nothing to see, but you should sure as hell can listen via YouTube Live. That is the lounge on YouTube Live. All right, we got a lot to hit, too. We got Major League Baseball going on. The divisional series going on this afternoon. We'll get right with some of the scoring that is going on so far today and what to expect coming up later on tonight as well. A college football weekend that was absolutely crazy. I remember I went on with Bob Lovell and his afternoon college football show, he and Brendan King, on Saturday before I did the JMV takeover. And I was talking about how, it's just other than Notre Dame on the road at Vatech, there wasn't a lot. And then everything kind of just exploded. You had the Oklahoma-Texas game, which was incredible. I mean, you had Alabama and Texas A&M, which even added to that. You had the video of the kicker, what's his name, Seth Small of Texas A&M with the game winner and his family. Just living on the edge, his wife living on the edge when he kicked that thing home to beat Alabama. I mean, some amazing stuff, to say the least. And it was a weekend where both Indiana and Purdue had the bye week, had a chance to hopefully get right, get more healthy, and get refocused for the remainder of that college football season. So if you guys want to dive into that, we can, but I know mostly you guys want to hit on the NFL. As far as our Pigskin Pick'em is concerned, I think Kyle and I right now, Kyle, are we tied? We're both 7 games over 500 entering this Monday nighter tonight, correct?
Yeah, we're both 7 games, 19th place overall in the league.
I'll take it because it's difficult to do every week. I mean, and I'm not, again, advising that. The pigskin pick'em is different. I mean, because you would only pick a couple here or there bets that you would really like over the course of a week. But, Kyle, you have to admit, this is a little bit different because you have a lot of games to be right about. I'll give you a great example. I'm still pissed about Cleveland yesterday. I mean, that should have turned out better than it did. Justin Herbert's the real deal. Don't get me wrong, but Cleveland had every opportunity to get that done. And then I'm mad at myself because all that was surrounding John Gruden leading up to that matchup in Vegas against the Bears, and it's kind of like what you knew. Like the easiest bet of the weekend was that of the Titans and the Jaguars. I mean, you would have to just be a knucklehead not to go that particular direction with the Titans, really. Or just want to give away some money. You just knew that was coming, and I went knucklehead on the Vegas and the Bears thing. Should have known better. Richard Marx had that as a song in the 1980s. I should have taken that advice with the Las Vegas Raiders and the Bears yesterday. Should have known better. But it is difficult to do all of that, all those games every week, and then keep track of it. 19th right now. And, Kyle, I don't know about you, but there's a guy that's winning this thing. He's like 11 games above 500. I mean, I hope he's putting money on some of this stuff.
Oh, no, he's 50 and 29.
He's 50 and I thought he was just 11. He's 50 and 29?
50 and 29. He's 99.8th percentile in all of ESPN.
Do we know who that guy is?
It's just an ESPN auto-generated account, so no, we don't.
Oh, so he's not legitimately within our group, correct?
Well, he might be. He just might not have his name in his bracket.
Because I know there's a guy named Sam Myers who I think is in second place right now, and we know him, and he's having a good go of it too. But I don't know who the leader right now is. He's absolutely tearing it up. It's almost like he knows what's going on.
Sam Myers is 49 and 30, so only one game back.
Sam Myers is a friend of the show, is 49 and 30. How are we going to catch that, 49 and 30? So you got to go against the grain a little bit. I mean, I like Cincinnati at least covered. Now, as far as from Bengals fan standpoint, they screwed themselves yesterday. And you talk about 5 missed field goal, game-winning opportunities yesterday between the 2 kickers in Cincinnati, and then finally the old man Mason Crosby put it between the uprights. But Bengals fans, that's basically how you feel as a fan of anything Cincinnati, I guess, as if it's going to go that particular way. But it did for the Bengals yesterday. But at the very least, they got the cover for us inside the Pigskin Pick'em. All right, quick break. We'll return. You got more of me, more of you. Want to get you on the horn at 239-1070. Email address is jmv at 1070thefan.com. Shows on Twitter at jmv1070 and the lounge via YouTube Live. My man Joe Childers is going to join us also coming up on the other side. We're going to talk about everything that is going on, not only to maintain road readiness for the fall with our friends from CarX over here in Brownsburg for your set of wheels, but also looking forward to the winter as well. They have a grand opening coming up, which is going to be awesome this weekend, and we've got great deals and opportunities for you to slide by right now and hang out as well. CarX, we're in Brownsburg off of Northfield Drive. Stephen Holder is going to join us. We've got my man Joe Childers a little bit later on, 5:30. I bail for the Colts pregame huddle. Remember that. I'm going to hang with you, but I bail from this show, and then I go to the Colts pregame show coming up live here at 5:30. Quick break, and we'll return. 239-1070 is the number. Joe Childers, Stephen Holder, and your Monday Night Football predictions all coming up. 93.5, 107.5, the app, the stream, and if you have it inside your ride, it is 93.1 HD2. It is crystal clear. If you have the means, check it out. Back with you next. Make sure you're at the only Colts VIP tailgate, BullseyeEventGroup.com. Bullseye is the only place to be before the Colts battle the Texans. BullseyeEventGroup.com now for your tailgate tickets.
We've done it again.
While other lenders are talking about raising their rates, our expert team at Golden Oak Lending has dropped rates even lower.
I'm James Hawkins, president of Golden Oak. With the low rate of 1.875% and home values at all-time highs, you can get more cash out of your home or eliminate pricey mortgage insurance.
Call 317-706-GOLD today to get your refinance started within minutes and make no mortgage payments until next year.
After all, our team speaks mortgage and loves translating it for customers. We can save you even more money with our 1.875% rate.
Plus, you'll never pay up front for your appraisal at Golden Oak. Call 317-706-GOLD today.
Golden Oak Landing cured my blues.
NMLS 114937, 1.875% fixed, 2.952% APR, FHA 15-year mortgage with 20% equity and approved credit.
Our first plan to spice up the NFL season was to add man-eating tigers to the game. We lost a lot of great players that day, and that was my bad. Now I'm bringing you the Caesars Sportsbook app. It's got live in-game betting, parlays, and Caesars rewards, people. It's even better than Tiger Ball.
Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
When we at AmericanEagle.com were asked by our client, Repair Clinic, to, repair their website, our digital marketing experts, like Tim, rolled up their sleeves and got to work. If you know Tim, you know that he loves a good challenge, which meant that this project was pretty much the highlight of Tim's year. From improving slow-loading performance that plagued our client's site to slashing duplicate pages and building an optimized sitemap, Tim was like a real-life action hero, but of website optimization. And our client reaped the benefits with major strides in their SEO, like more traffic, impressions, and revenue. Tim and the team even helped them create search and email marketing campaigns and better ongoing analytics tracking. However complex your digital challenges, from digital marketing and strategy to web development, UX, and more, talk to the experts at AmericanEagle.com. Don't just grow, soar.
When winter's at its worst, snowplow professionals need the best. That's why your local Boss dealer has the ultimate lineup of snow and ice solutions you need. Front to back, Boss leads with advanced truck plows and spreaders, compact equipment, heavy equipment, and time-saving tools to clear any surface area. Keep them open with a Boss snowplow, built to back you up.
Join the Boss Owners Group and get a $50 rebate right now with a preseason Boss plow inspection at Mid-State Truck Equipment. Online at mid-statetruck.com.
Oh, you know that old injury of yours? The one in your knee or maybe back? Instead of going to the doctor and then doing physical therapy, why not start with therapy first? Athletico Physical Therapy is changing the whole healing process around. Their physical therapists will find the source of your pain and help fix it. Start with them and start living pain-free. Just like that.
It all starts with Athletico Physical Therapy. Schedule your free assessment at athletico.com. No prescription needed. Official sponsor of IU Athletics.
Hey, John here from my friends at LD Smith Plumbing. I always tell you this, 317-284-9526. It's not like you're going to get an open invite of, hey, your plumbing's about ready to go haywire here, because I was in a similar situation. No water back in February. It was like -5 outside. But you got to go with people you trust. And at LD Smith Plumbing, that's who you trust. Lance and his local team at 317-284-9526. Right over on a Sunday morning, and by noon, I am good to go with the water back again. That's an emergency. 24/7, 365 on any of your plumbing needs. Large or small or emergencies, it's Lance and his local team at LD Smith Plumbing to the rescue. 317-284-9526. That's online, ldsmithplumbing.com today.
Ever since you Dirks Bentley. Ears on Me Tour 2021. This Friday, Ruoff Music Center. And he's bringing along special guests, Mitchell Tenpenny. 'Cause strong me can't get over you. And the Cadillac 3. Dirks Bentley, live in concert. Reserved seat tickets are on sale now at livenation.com.
Tonight, Monday night, the Colts are on the road in Baltimore for an AFC showdown in primetime. It's Monday Night Football, and Wish TV is your station for the game. Carson Wentz goes head-to-head with Lamar Jackson. Tonight, Monday night, and Wish TV is on the road with all the exclusive coverage before, during, and after the game. Colts, Ravens, Monday Night Football. Watch tonight, Monday night, on Wish TV. Get even more exclusive access at WishTV.com when you follow Wish TV on Facebook.
Hey, it's Big Joe for your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer, B&W Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Drains. Co-owner Beth Rovazini has a great suggestion on what you should do if you're not sure whether to repair or replace that old furnace.
Just go to our website, bigbblacktrucks.com, and look for the HVAC Repair Replace Guide. It's a free download, and you fill it out, and then you'll know whether you should do that repair or replace it.
Call B&W at 317-751-2325 or go to bigbblacktrucks.com. B&W is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Download the top-rated DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use promo code WFNI when you sign up and get up to $1,000. Code WFNI bonus up to $1,000 for a limited time only at DraftKings Sportsbook.
Right now, it's a seller's market. I'm Patrick Keller with Crest Point Real Estate. Get your free home value estimate from me in 60 seconds at sellwithpatrick.com.
The Ride with JMV.
I don't understand a word you just said.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Hey, welcome back. Monday Night Football is going to be the capper of week number 5. You got the Colts on the road at Baltimore, and what really is a prove it to everybody type of game. You can do what you want. You got to win against Houston coming back home next week. There's no doubt about that. You got to take care of both those games. You got to take care of both the Jaguars games. You got to win coming up on Halloween against the Titans. Yeah, the Jets on a Thursday night. You got to win that. It'd be nice. My man JR and his son are going out to the Frisco game at Levi's Stadium. That'd be one that you would like to think they could at least compete with, although I will say that the Niners defense yesterday against Kyler Murray and the Cardinals, even though they lost, looked really good. But there are just certain things this team you have to take care of. Tonight is one where, man, it'd be great if they would win. I just don't have a great deal of confidence they're gonna. But competing against a team that has played so well in prime time, certainly recently, and is one of those tough, consistently tough AFC teams, that's what you're looking for later on tonight. There's no doubt. But it's crazy when you think about it. You get off to a 1-4 start, and you feel there's still an opportunity within the AFC South. I still say, even with that win yesterday, Tennessee and the Colts, I mean, even if one team or the other, you pull even, you're a game back or whatever, I don't think anybody's going to run away from anybody else within that division at all. All right, 239-1070. Email address is jmv at 1070thefan.com. CarX is the location in Brownsburg off of Northfield Drive. We are here. I'm going to actually be here until 7:30. Our good friend Joe Childers joins us right now. He runs everything. Make sure everybody's set of wheels runs smooth in central Indiana. The 14 locations, the brand new one right here in Brownsburg. So you're going to leave. You're going to stay open. You're going to allow me to change some tires coming up later on?
Absolutely.
I only dropped one. Like, I only dropped one truck back in the day.
Okay.
Off the lift. It wasn't a lift. It was the old school jack. You know what I mean? We had to pump the jack up, and that didn't go well for me. Only dropped one, and I changed a lot, so only one.
I'll make sure you get an application before you leave here today. We're always looking for good people.
So how are things going over
They're
here?
They're going great. We couldn't be happier with the Brownsburg operation, the way it's taken off. We got a big weekend planned this weekend. We hope actually it's a grand opening week. So please stop by and register to win some great prizes that we'll be giving away this Saturday. Some of those prizes are a set of tires, free oil changes for a year. We got a TV to give away. We got a car detailing. We're going to have some really nice stuff for the kids. We got a bounce house, or grown-ups, I guess, for that matter, if they want to get in there. We got a truck that'll be serving some really good ice cream and snow cones. We got some face painting going on. I think Anthony's going to be cooking some hot dogs.
Anthony,
he don't know that yet.
Anthony is like multi-versatile over there. He can do a lot of things.
Yeah, but we're gonna have a lot of fun. Yeah, I'm going to be here tonight till 7:30.
We're hanging here until 7:30.
And if someone wants to stop by and throw me a trivia question, maybe about some baseball or Indy 500 stuff, and if they can stump me, they can get a free oil change. So I'm looking forward to hanging out with you tonight.
Yeah, well, and you mentioned baseball, too. By the way, the White Sox-Astros Game 3, check that Game 4 has been postponed because of the weather. They got some weather going on in northwest Indiana and around the Chicago area. That game on Chicago's south side has been postponed. They pulled to within a game, 2-1 Astros in that best-of-5 ALDS, and that's been postponed. Brewers and Braves going on right now, and it's all Braves, top of the 7th inning down in Atlanta, 3-0. You got got 2 games later on tonight. Closeout opportunity for the Red Sox and the Rays tonight in Boston. Giants and Dodgers even at a game apiece from Chavez Ravine later on this evening. You're a big baseball fan. What stands out about what you've seen postseason-wise so far?
Since my Yankees got beat early on, I'm definitely rooting for the White Sox because we got a Brownsburg Bulldog, Lance Lynn, playing on that. I went to high school with his father back in the day, and we're wishing Lance a lot of luck. He got a bad start the first time out, but hoping he bounces back for his second start, and we'll be pulling for the White Sox for sure.
Well, it was good to see the White Sox get up off the mat because they could have just faded away yesterday.
Absolutely.
But, they fought it out, got that win. That game was like 19 hours long, but it was a big win, not just for survival, but to get up off the mat, if you will, against that team from Houston as well. You got the Brewers and Braves, as I mentioned, too. Man, the Rays. How about, last night, Red Sox walk it off against the Rays. So Dodgers and Giants. I mean, you're talking about 2 rivals that have never met rivalry-wise, at least in the modern era, in this capacity, which is kind of amazing to watch.
That is cool. That's those teams don't like one another. Their fans don't like one another, so it makes a lot of fun.
It does. That's Joe Childers here with us, CarX location. Now, everybody's going to be taken care of today. This is a great place to go to keep your car, truck, or van fall road ready, but you got a big, grand opening week celebration going on.
We're excited about it. We're going to have some good deals, some specials on car repairs, and you're right, winter's just around the corner, unfortunately, so come to any of our 14 locations. We've got them all over the city. We blanket the suburbs and inner city as well. So stop by and see your CarX, man. You got,
I know that Anthony is here. Is our guy Micah going to slide by here
Micah
a little bit later?
Micah will be here a little bit later.
He holds down things at the Plainfield location.
He does. He does a great job there. Then our manager here is Dave Nykirk.
Dave.
And our oil shop manager is Breanne Gillum. And they're really qualified professionals, so stop in and say hi to them, get a free bottle of water, a cup of coffee, or whatever your choosing is.
Well, I'm going to tell you this. I still have my truck. My 2010 truck has 275,000 miles on it. You want to know why? It's because I come here. You guys keep it ready. Seriously. We stay after all that maintenance and stuff. It matters whenever you get up in age, and it still is running as well at 275K as it was early, and it's thanks to you guys.
Well, my grandson thanks you as well because you're donating to his college fund, so we appreciate that.
But yeah, I mean, it's a big deal to make sure you keep those things going. The oil changes and all that.
Well,
when it gets older, it really does matter.
Absolutely, and with the price of new cars today, you get sticker shock out there. So, if you do what JMV does, take care of your vehicle, it'll last a long, long time.
It does. It really does. That's Joe Childers right there. You hear about him on this show often because he does such a great job. And we're in Brownsburg today, so come by. You can sit around and chat with us a little bit and hang out, get an oil change, tires, brakes. I mean, you guys do nearly everything here, don't you? So
William swap out a motor if you have.
Yeah, see? Oh, could you? Well, listen, Micah has done a lot of stuff. Micah probably knows my older vehicle more than anything. I mean, he's the one. I always take it to him. I go, all right, what's going on here? Because he knows about it. So
absolutely.
Well, see, that's how we grew up, though. You know what I mean? That's how we grew up. You had somebody that you knew and you did trust, and that's what's great.
Well, back in when I was a little boy, it was a corner gas station.
Right.
Going with my father to the corner gas station, and now we want to be that neighborhood auto care place for every neighborhood in the city.
That's right. It's Joe Childers right there. The 14th location in Central Indiana is here off of Northfield Drive in Brownsburg. It is CarX. Again, slide by today. You can come by all week long. Got a big weekend set for their grand opening week going on here at CarX. Man, thanks for everything, buddy. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
We'll bring you back a little bit later on, maybe if you got any baseball trivia. You got anything in mind?
I can 60s, 70s, early Yankees. I'm good.
Early Yankees.
The 60 baseball I'm really good at.
I knew the Rawlings gloves we had when we were little, right? The Rawlings ones. I did have Mickey Rivers. Remember you had the signature, but it wasn't a real signature, but it had a Mickey Rivers one right there.
Right. He at one time played for the California Angels, and he went to play for the Yankees. Played center field during the Thurman Munson years, and probably the 77 championship, 78. He was on that team.
Was 77 with a 3 home run game. That's where Mr. October, Reggie Jackson, became Mr. October by virtue of that game.
Right. I was.
Was it Bert Hooten?
It was.
Yeah.
Who
we hit it off of?
Yeah,
hit them off of?
It was. I about fell off my couch on the third one. It was great. Good stuff.
There was one. Which game was it when he stuck his hip out on a potential double play and the ball glanced off his hip?
It was during that series.
That's why I thought it was that series too.
Yeah.
So
Reggie was always doing something cool.
He was the straw that stirred it, as they always said in the Bronx.
There you go.
Joe Childers right there. Let us take a break and we shall return. Stephen Holder, top of the hour. He is in Baltimore. The Monday nighter is the Colts and the Ravens. We'll get your calls on that. Stephen Holder, top of the hour. 5:30 Colts pregame huddle. We'll get to that. Joe Wrights and the Gorman. Joe downtown with Cal Unimark in studio at MS Worldwide, and the Gorman is at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore. We'll get you set for the Monday nighter. It is a gauge opportunity for this Colts team. Are they going to be up to this task? The task of staying competitive, the task of possibly winning on the road in an incredible environment. We'll discuss that with you at 239-1070 next.
Hubler has cars. Shop all of your favorite brands in store or online with express car buying and instant upfront pricing. Visit drivehubler.com.
We have your chance to win tickets to see Trans-Siberian Orchestra when they return to Gamebridge Fieldhouse December 22nd. Sign up to win today at 1075thefan.com.
At Huntington, we've been asking ourselves, is it possible to lend money at 0 interest? And it totally is. Introducing Standby Cash. When you need extra cash, you can qualify for between $100 and $1,000 at Huntington. And it's free when you autopay us back across 3 months. Why would a bank do that? Just to look out for people. That's how we reinvent banking. Huntington, welcome. Without automatic payments, 12% APR. Eligibility requirements apply. Amount available is based on customer eligibility. Learn more at huntington.com/standbycash.
Hey, it's John for BullseyeEventGroup.com, the Colts VIP Tailgate presented by Hayes & Sons Restoration. You can get signed up right now because the Colts are finally back at a Sunday matchup against the Texans at Lucas Oil Stadium. It makes your game day experience the best it can be, right? And now that you know we're going into the fall and the weather may not be conducive to wanting to hang outside, you know that the controlled environment inside the Bullseye Event Center, the all-you-can-eat, all-you-can-drink, DJ Skids, DJ Helicon, making sure that your game day experience the best it can be. Get those passes inside the Bullseye Event Center with BullseyeEventGroup.com. That's the Colts VIP Tailgate presented by Hayes & Sons Restoration. Go ahead to your passes, and if you want to combo that up with tickets to the game, you can as well. Log on. Make sure you're good to go for Sunday. BullseyeEventGroup.com.
Boost and Cricket charge more for unlimited 5G. Metro doesn't. Introducing the big 5G upgrade from Metro by T-Mobile. Just $25 a month gets you unlimited 5G and a free 5G smartphone. That's half the price of Boost and Cricket's top plans. So ditch your overpriced connections and switch to Metro, the leader in prepaid. Experience 5G speed at no extra cost and step up big time with the big 5G upgrade. Get 1 line of unlimited 5G smartphone data plus a free Samsung Galaxy 5G when you trade in. All with the power of the T-Mobile 5G network. Rule your day with 5G. Only at Metro. Limited time in-store only. If congested data users greater than 35 gigabytes per month notice lower speeds, and Metro customers notice lower speeds versus T-Mobile due to deprioritization. Leader based on prepaid subs June 2021. Save half based on 1 line Boost and Cricket unlimited plan. See store for details.
Are you an HVAC technician, plumber, or sewer and drain specialist? Are you dissatisfied with your current employer? Have you been laid off or had your hours reduced now that the busy season is ending? Then call Vasey Commercial Facility Solutions. They're hiring experienced industrial commercial technicians. Get full benefits and true work-life balance. Call Vasey now at 317-873-2512. That's Vasey, 317-873-2512. Or go to Vasey.com to learn more.
Hey, JMV here. Got a great idea for you. If you are thinking about jumping into the housing market right now, whether you're upgrading or downsizing, I got the name, I got the number for you. The only person to use is Mark Dietl. That's Mark Dietl Realty, 317-755-4232, 317-755-4232, online, markdietl.com. One of the reasons is I know Mark and is the absolute best, but he's going to give you a guarantee, and he's going to be the only one to do this too. We're talking multiple offers in 3 days for full market value, or he's going to sell it for free. All right, that's what you want. You want guarantees, especially now because you're thinking, I'm going to jump into this, and maybe your motive is just seeing how much your property is going to be worth on the open market. Get the most out of it. Go with the best. Mark Dietl. Mark Dietl Realty, 317-755-4232. Again, that number, write it down and tell him I sent you, 317-755-4232. MarkDietl.com. That's Mark, DIETEL.com today.
Diamonds Direct has enough diamonds right now to supply up to 30 ordinary jewelry stores. From a half carat to 10 carats. Rare, precious diamonds in all shapes. Straight from the world's best diamond cutters. At Diamonds Direct, diamonds are our business, our specialty, our focus. That's why we can guarantee the best diamond selection and the best diamond prices every day, every week, every year. Diamonds Direct. Get store hours, directions, and more at diamondsdirect.com.
There's never been a better time to switch to Spectrum Mobile. You could save hundreds of dollars on your mobile bill. Plus, there are no added taxes, hidden fees, and no contracts. Try the Spectrum Mobile Savings Calculator today, and in 3 easy steps, you'll see how much you could save by switching. Visit spectrummobile.com/save. Spectrum Internet required. Savings may vary. Restrictions apply. Visit spectrummobile.com/save for details.
Hey, you know what? I hope you've heard this story before, but you haven't. Listen up right now. I have struggled in the past sleeping. In fact, I slept horribly because I snored like a freight train, as they say. It has been an issue. I've tried all this other stuff. You know, these masks you put on, I look like C-3PO or something, man. At night, I didn't like any of it. And then my friend Brian Evans, you know Brian Evans that played at IU, Dr. Steve Green also played at IU. They turned me on to the Aurora Sleep Clinic and a simple, comfortable, and affordable custom-fit mouthpiece that I wear at night, and incredibly, it stopped my snoring. You guys ever wake up, you snore all night, you wake up, and you got a neck that just is killing you? I mean, you sleep in all these different ways to make sure that you get a little bit of sleep and don't wake up feeling like that. Well, wake up refreshed with Aurora Sleep Clinic today. 317-482-7900. StopYourSnoreNow.com. In fact, give them a call right now. Tell them I sent you at 317-482-7900 and get a free week's trial on one of these incredibly comfortable mouthpieces that will maintain your night's sleep for the first time maybe in forever. Get that free trial right now. 317-482-7900. StopYourSnoreNow.com today.
As our troops are coming home, every business should be finding ways to thank and honor them for their service. We created the Hero Loan. HeroLoan.com.
NMLS number 1326-241.
Tuesday's Fan Morning Show, we're recapping Monday Night Football. Jeff Saturday going to join us at 7:30 a.m. Fan Morning Show, 7 to 10 a.m. right here.
The Ride with JMV.
JMV does not suck at all.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Hey, CarX location in Brownsburg. Thank you very much for joining us. Northfield Drive. Jeremiah says Sox game postponed because of jacket-off weather. I hope we don't get that here, but it looks like we may end up getting it. At least that's what the weather folks are predicting. In fact, as a part of the Colts pregame huddle from CBS 4, Chris Wright will join us at the very start of the show, probably about 5:40 or so. So we will... We'll get that thing going. We'll get that thing going and find out exactly what's going on here. Broderick says, please get off the Colts. Dude, oh my God, LOL, be real, not lame. I don't know what any of that means, but Broderick, you kind of sound like a dumbass here. I wouldn't send that again. Because if I retweet this, everybody's going to laugh at your dumbass. So I won't do it. Now, Incredibly Real was exactly what that was about. It was about not being what you're expected to be right now. It was searching for something that you talk about building and you talk about finally coming to fruition that doesn't. Now, that was about as real of a conversation, Broderick. I'll retweet that, and you guys can have some fun with Broderick here. I'll retweet that, and everybody else can check that out. How real? I don't know how real. What more real do you want here? I don't know. Seems about as real as it gets. Let's go 239-1070. Jimmy is up first today. Jimmy, thank you for the call. Jimmy, are you there? Hello, Jimmy.
I'm there. How are you, John?
I am great.
Great. Hey, first of all, I just wanted to say I think the Colts are going to win tonight, 34-28. And the reason for that being, I think that the run game, I think they will be able to run the ball against Baltimore's defense with Naheem Hines and Jonathan Taylor. And I think that will ease off the pressure on Carson. And I also think that Darius Leonard is going to play his best game of the year. I know he's been banged up all season long so far, but I think he's going to be rejuvenated and have a great game and be able to, shadow Lamar Jackson a little bit. I don't expect him to shut him down completely, but just wanted to get your take on that, and you have a great day, John. Take care.
You got it, buddy. Jimmy, thank you very much. I mean, a year ago in the first half, they looked really good against Lamar Jackson. After that, not so much. Unfortunately, I don't think they're in any position right now to be able to maintain much on either side of the football. Thus, I think this is going to be a struggle both offensively and defensively. I mean, a year ago in the first half they did, in the second half not so much. Andy Moore, Automotive Group Hotline from Baltimore. The sports director of Fox 59, Chris Hagan, joins us. Where are you in Baltimore right now?
I got to follow Jimmy. That's a hard act to follow.
That is tough. There's no doubt about it.
Well, John, I'm usually in such a great mood, but I'm not in a great mood today. I don't know if you've heard, but Wes Woodward and I go to check in and get on our flight yesterday. We're standing up there at the old gate, and then they uncorked the old 640. This flight has been canceled. So Wes and I, always up for an adventure, we said, well, all right, let's just drive to Baltimore. It sounded like a good idea at the time, but when we got here at 5 a.m., it was probably not the best idea. But here we are, and we're heading to the stadium right now.
You drove to Baltimore. You guys got in the car and drove to Baltimore last night.
Yeah, we left at 7 p.m., and we got here like at 4:50 a.m. It was so early, the flight attendants were waiting outside of the hotel to leave, and Wes was ready to say, hey, we could have used you back in India to get on that flight because that's what we were missing was the flight attendants. But here we are because we're not going to miss a Colts game in prime time on ESPN.
Well, you know what? You're not the only ones that had to go through that. I think the Colts Radio Network had something similar happen as well. So,
well, other people's problems don't really concern me, John. I'm just worried about me.
You're not sympathetic to other people's issues, huh?
I'm just worried about me, Chris Hagan, and to a lesser extent, Wes Woodward. So here we are. We're actually headed to the stadium now. We'll start being on Fox 59 and CBS 4 at 5 o'clock and 6 o'clock, and we'll have our guy Stephen Holder on with us at 6:50 for the sports. So, yeah, it's kind of cloudy. It's not raining. I think that might I don't know. I don't think that plays a factor in the game. But listen to what Jimmy said. Jimmy, a little bit more optimistic than I am for this one.
All right. Somebody tweeted at us this morning and said that during our sports overtime hits in the future, you need to move my face further away from the camera. I got a little pissed about that. I'm thinking, man, my chiseled features, that's like the highlight of the show.
Well, I say that all the time when they're framing me up on camera in studio. I'll say, zoom out, because the further away from the camera, the better when it comes to me. I can't speak for you, John, but the more distance, the better.
Yeah, was it up my nostril? Yes. You're the one that said bring it closer.
No, I said move your head higher to the top. Not you had your face look like you were peeking over a wall like that guy on Home Improvement, the next door neighbor. I was like, hey, we got to see your whole, because they put that, they put the lower third up that says JMV, and next thing you know, all you're seeing is your nose. So I was just saying, give yourself, get your head closer. I didn't say closer to the camera. I meant closer to the top of the screen.
Well, you guys with me, I'm not too bright. You got to be specific, all right? Come on.
And it's still, for some reason, we keep growing older, and people still think we look alike and consider us twins. So I don't know if that's good news for you or bad news for me or somewhere in between. But
you TV guys know all, what do they call them, the nuances of doing TV. And I think specifically sometimes you leave us kind of hanging. Us non-TV guys leave us kind of hanging to look like dorks, to look bad.
Well, let's be honest. You were on a telephone in Greene County. You were doing the most with what you had. I was just happy the signal went through, and as long as you weren't freezing up like Max Headroom, I was glad to have you on the show.
I was literally at the Owensburg Cemetery. It is one of the highest peaks in and around Owensburg. It was on a hill. I was doing it live from a cemetery yesterday.
Well, that just like we will drive 10 hours to get the coverage you need, JMV will drive to a hilltop cemetery in Greene County to get on the air. But I know you're up against the break here, so I'll just give you my 2 cents. I think on the primetime stage, I think the Ravens are too much. I think the Colts still dealing with too many folks out or banged up. And so I'd love to be wrong, but I don't see the Colts being in this game. I think they lose 34-24.
Yeah, I think I gave it around a 10-point spread as well right there in terms of the Ravens getting that win. Chris, I appreciate it. You and Wes drive carefully back.
Hey, I tell you what, sometime tomorrow, who knows, around Shanksburg or somewhere, we'll give you a call on the way back and check in and see how we did.
I think you should, man. Thanks, Hagan.
Bye, brother. See you.
Chris Hagan of Fox 59. Hey, there is a guy that's at work for you. He just didn't stay here. They didn't cry and whine and go, our flight's got canceled, we're going to stay. They hopped in a car and went there. Well done right there. 59's got you covered coming up later on tonight. We got you covered with your car, truck, or van at CarX in Brownsburg. Slide by here. Make sure you get Fall Road ready here and know that they're celebrating their grand opening week going on here that ends coming up on Saturday with a big party they got going on here at the CarX in Brownsburg. Northfield Drive's our location. Quick break. Stephen Holder, the Athletic, is down in Baltimore. I should say down in Baltimore, over in Baltimore, I should say, right? He's getting ready to head over to M&T Bank Park, and we shall get his thoughts on this matchup. Monday night style coming up in Baltimore tonight between the Colts and the Ravens. Back with you next.
We've done it again.
Golden Oak Lending has dropped rates even lower.
I'm James Hawkins, president of Golden Oak. With a 1.875% rate and home values up, you can get more cash out now.
Call 317-706-GOLD today and make no mortgage payments until next year.
Golden Oak Lending, join my blue.
NMLS 114937, 1.875% fixed, 2.952% APR, FHA 15-year mortgage with 20% equity and approved credit.
All right, biggest game of week number 5 around here, the Monday night of the Colts and the Ravens. FanDuel Sportsbook is about to make this thing for you even bigger. You ready? FanDuel is giving new customers 30-1 odds on either team to win. That means you can end the NFL week and do this thing in style by winning $150 on a $5 bet. It's FanDuel Sportsbook for you. Use that promo code JMV. FanDuel Sportsbook, America's #1 sportsbook. Promo code JMV. It's the Colts and the Ravens tonight. You can win $150 on a $5 bet. But remember to use the promo code JMV in the process. 21 plus and present in Indiana. New users only $10 first deposit required. Must wager in designated offer market. Max bonus $150. Restrictions apply. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
Fall in Indy. And for 20 years, Rhino Shield's been covering Indiana homes like your neighbor Elsie.
My husband he had been reading about Rhino Shield. We were just impressed.
And Rhino Shield's not paint, it's better.
And we had our all the trim and everything done. And they even did the ceiling of our front porch.
Indianapolis, fall just got better. Celebrate Rhino Shield covering Indiana homes for 20 years for 20% off the regular price.
Oh my, it looks brand new. Saves us painting, and we get compliments even today about how nice it looks and everything.
Here's owner Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint.
Don't vinyl.
Go Rhino.
Don't paint, don't vinyl. Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Hey, John, for Connecticut water, the absolute best with Joe, John, and Dennis. Hey, make sure you have the best water possible. I had no idea what I had until I brought Connecticut into my home. I'm like living off a well. I still am, right? And I just thought that's the way it was going to be. And then Joe, John, and Dennis said, try this Premier Series water softener in your home. And, man, there is a huge difference. You couple that with the K5 in-home drinking water station, and it will blow your mind. Seriously, great prices on what you need right now at the 2 area Connecticut locations. Northeast side, Castleton, south side, US 31 and Southport Road. The Connecticut Water app, download that to your smartphone or device today. Online, ConnecticutIndy.com.
The first bet on Caesar Sportsbook app is up to $5,000 risk-free, people. When I told my team about the idea, they said I was being too wonderful and magnificent. But I don't care how awesome this makes me. I'm doing this for the people. So just download the app, and that first bet is up to $5,000 risk-free. Caesar made an app for the people.
Must be 21. Offer valid in Indiana only and for new players. Paid in bet credits. Terms and conditions apply. See Caesars.com/promos. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
WIBC HD2 W298BB. WIBC HD3 W228CX. Indianapolis.
Soccer Saturday featuring Indy 11. If this is your football, this is your show. Saturday at 9 on The Fan. The Ride with JMV.
You just got your asses whipped by a bunch of damn nerds.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
We are in Brownsburg for this show today, Northfield Drive. You know, what's a Brownsburg without Mike Wells being around here? Mike Wells on the road in Baltimore in preparation for the Monday Nighter. Colts and Ravens tonight, 5:30 Colts pregame huddle. I'm going to handle things hosting-wise right here, so slide by and hang out with me during the Colts pregame huddle here in Brownsburg at the CarX location. Love to see you here. Now, I mentioned Brownsburg is the home of Mike Wells. He is in Baltimore, and so is our next guest via the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline from The Athletic. He is Stephen Holder, who apparently was in a hotel room that smelled like weed. All right, explain. Why did your hotel room... Normally, this is what I gather, Stephen. If your hotel room smells like weed, normally you're the one smoking the weed. It's your fault. How did this go down?
Hey, listen. It ain't me. I don't even know where to get weed in Baltimore. I'm sure you can find some. I am pretty sure you can find some, but I personally don't know where. So, no, it wasn't me. All
right. I'm just normally trying to blame it on somebody else.
Diversion.
Yeah. Normally I look back on it and it's a hotel room occupant that's the reason why the thing smells like a little bit of tree. All right. Let's get down to business tonight on this Monday Nighter. Last year in the first half, that was as good a defensive effort that we have seen in a half of football from this Matt Eberflus coordinated team in a while. And then in the second half, kind of the floor fell through. Let's go back to why they looked so good in the first half a year ago defensively against Lamar Jackson.
Well, first of all, I think the big thing is that Lamar Jackson tests you from a discipline standpoint. You know, I think if you watch, for example, Josh Allen last night, a very different type of running game, but when they're running the quarterback, the rules are completely different. And I think with Lamar Jackson in particular, because he can and does now drop back and throw it very well, an underrated thrower, which is something Frank Reich pointed out a few days ago, you have to be on your P's and Q's. And to do that for 4 quarters is hard. It's really hard because, as the Colts told us this week, you have to do things that you don't do against any other opponent. So now you have to not only do things that are different, you have to do things that are out of character. The way they structure the run defense against the Ravens is completely different. So now you got to do that, and you got to do it for 4 quarters. And the minute you screw up, boom, he gets you. And that's the problem. That is why they test you so much. It's a matter of discipline and continuing to stay on top of your instructions, your rules, and those kinds of things. And everybody's got to do it, all 11 guys. It's a lot harder than people realize, and that's where Baltimore gets people slipping.
Stephen Holder joins us from The Athletic. You look at this Baltimore team, consistently tough. And I think ultimately that's kind of the vision, not similar because of the quarterback situation, but being able to consistently run the football no matter who's in there has been the vision and what this Colts team has tried to put together. We obviously know they're not there yet. What makes, besides the quarterback situation, Baltimore so good at running the football no matter what injuries along the line or at the running back position we're talking about?
I think scheme is a big part of it, for sure. And particularly now that Lamar Jackson has been ingrained as a quarterback there for a few years now. They have built their running game basically around their quarterback. And that is very, very different than any other team. I mean, even the best running teams, they're built conventionally. Their running games are more conventional, right? With the Ravens, the quarterback is kind of the core of the running game. And so, it's a lot of RPO, a lot of, things where you just have to account for the quarterback. And the fact that you don't have to do that with other teams, that's a game changer. I mean, with Kansas City, for example, as good as Mahomes is, and I get that they're struggling now, but I mean, even as good as he is, the one thing you don't really account for is like a read option. Is he going to keep the ball on a regular basis, right? He'll do it sometimes, but it's not a core element. It's not a key principle for most teams. The fact that it is for Baltimore is what makes it so tough, and the reason they're consistently one of the best rushing teams in the league. I mean, he's setting records as a quarterback for rushing. So, I mean, if you're getting that kind of rushing production from your quarterback, you are always, always, always going to be one of the most productive rushing teams in the NFL, and they always are.
Well, I mean, and out with injuries, Dobbins, Edwards, and, it's like you're turning back the clock with Murray and with Bell and to a lesser degree Freeman, right? And they just continue moving forward, I think, to a clip where if you're around the NFL and you really want to run the football, you have to really love what they do regardless.
Yeah, I mean, it's impressive. It is really impressive. And I think, especially in light of what you just pointed out, I mean, a lot of people thought, and I was probably among those people, that thought, man, this is going to change things for their offense, these injuries, and what we've learned is their system is pretty damn good because they were able to plug guys in and still get the job done. They've turned over running backs here in recent years a number of times as well. So it's the system. The system is really it's really rolling now. And I know in the initial stages of the Lamar Jackson experiment, which is kind of what people saw it as a couple of years ago, we weren't sure if it was sustainable and those kinds of things, but they've got it down now, and it definitely works, and it's still giving people a hard time.
All right. How do they handle things later on tonight? There was one thing a year ago where Marquise Brown, Stephen, was a little outspoken about wanting to get the ball more, wanting to be more of a playmaker. How have they made him happy while still maintaining the consistency that they have between running it and throwing it there?
Yeah, I think this year in particular, I like the fact that they're taking deep shots. And, I mean, if you're really paying attention, you can't help but love the way Lamar Jackson throws the ball. Now, the idea that he was not some good passer, I understand where people got that idea, right? Because they were kind of distracted by his athleticism and the things he does as a runner. And I understand that, right? It doesn't get as much attention, the fact that he can throw the ball. But they're not only throwing it, they're throwing it down the field. Now, they may not throw it at the same rate that other teams throw it because they're going to run it heavy. They're going to be a heavy run team. They just are. Their quarterback runs it. Their running backs run it. They're going to run it a lot. It is what it is. But when they do throw it, they can do it effectively, and they're being aggressive in doing it. And, I mean, think about play action in a team like that. I mean, you should take full advantage of that. They're not what they used to be on defense, I don't think, and obviously their injuries have affected their offense in some ways as well. But they can throw the football, and there's no question. If they need a big play on offense, they have the ability to get it, and they have proven that.
It's Stephen Holder of The Athletic. He's on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. One of the things that concerns me, and I'm assuming a lot of Colts fans as well, defensively. We'll get to the secondary in a moment, but that the focus on Lamar Jackson and the fact that we have seen Darius Leonard obviously try to gut this thing out, still dealing with that ankle injury, but not being near what he normally is speed-wise. How significant of a role might that play in your mind tonight?
Well, a lot, because if you remember last year's game, Darius Leonard was the spy. He was the Lamar Jackson spy. And it's not an approach they use with a lot of teams, but you can go back and watch the tape last year, and you'll see Darius Leonard in the middle of the defense just eyeing Lamar Jackson the whole time. Where he goes, he went. And you have to do that. I mean, it's not something you want to do. You don't want to dedicate one guy to basically spy someone on the other team. Like that's not a perfect use of resources, but this guy's different, and they did that. Now, can you devote Darius Leonard to that role tonight in the condition that he's in? I don't know that answer. I don't know that answer. It's going to be very interesting to see if that's something they think is feasible. I think he got a little better last week. I thought he played much better for sure, and I thought that he looked, Darius Leonard, he looked just more mobile and quicker, as though he wasn't lumbering as much. So we'll see. I mean, he's had 8 days, so hopefully he's gained some, or I guess he's made some recovery, I would hope, in the last 8 days, and hopefully he's further along, because I think that's potentially a big factor in this game.
Stephen Older joins us. Speaking of mobility, you saw it in the second half against the Dolphins. I mean, it felt like that was as mobile and as good feeling as quarterback Carson Wentz has had in a while, especially on that spin and that throw. It seemed that he was trusting guys and, throwing the football into the neighborhood outside of the so-called catch radius. Those are all good things. With that in mind, offensively, what do you think the game plan is for the Colts, starting with their quarterback tonight against that Ravens D?
Well, I like that you pointed that out, that Wentz showed some mobility last week, because that's critical. The reason it's critical is because Frank Reich and Marcus Brady, the offensive coordinator, I mean, look, they have tried to structure an offense when they got Carson Wentz on their roster. The goal then was to structure the offense in such a way that you could take advantage of what he does well. One of the things he does well is move around, throw on the run, those kinds of things. I actually think he's one of the rare guys who's just as accurate throwing on the run as he is probably on 2 feet in the pocket, to be honest. I mean, he's a very accurate thrower, more than most, at least, on the run. But now that he's been hobbled, they've had to kind of pull a lot of that back. So how much of the playbook have they been working with? I don't know that answer, but I know it's less than they intended. And so that's not good for anybody. I mean, if you were dealing with a classic drop-back quarterback, if this were Tom Brady, this would be a very different situation. It wouldn't really affect your play calling that much, the fact that he had an ankle injury, because he's not moving anyway. He's a pocket passer. But when this guy, with Carson Wentz, the way he plays and the way you would want to play call or call plays, for a guy like that, you're going to integrate a lot of his athleticism into the play calling. So Frank Reich has had to completely eliminate a lot of those things. As they start to get it back, as his health comes back, I want to see what, if any, difference that makes in the play calling. I think it will make a big difference.
How similar was it in closing? I know you got to run here, so the final couple minutes you have, Stephen. How similar is it in how they've tried to handle offensively the change of plans with Wentz and the kind of shorter targets, the quicker release of the ball, kind of like what they did a year ago, I guess, to a lesser degree with Phillip Rivers, compared to those not-so-subtle changes they made offensively with Andrew Luck after he changed his throwing, and then he went shorter game as to not to withstand all those hits that he had taken up until that point in 2018. Are there any offensive similarities there?
Yeah, I actually think that there were some. I have seen some parallels. If you remember 2018, if you remember early in the season when Andrew Luck, we hadn't seen him. I think he might have played a handful of snaps in preseason, and then he started the regular season. I think, wasn't it the Cincinnati game, if I recall, the opener? And it was this West Coast-looking offense, and I was like, this is weird. What is this? They were getting the ball out quick, a lot of horizontal stuff, not very vertical. I think you saw some of that, particularly against Tennessee when he really couldn't move. And I think last week it got a little more vertical. They need to be more vertical. They definitely do. But it definitely had a little bit more of what you were talking about, because I think they were accounting for Carson Wentz's injury. So I think as this thing gets, as he gets better, you're going to start to see them potentially, at least theoretically, be more aggressive. Now what has to happen on the other side of that coin, though, is these wide receivers got to do their part. Guys got to win. Michael Pittman's winning. Zach Pascal wins his share, but that's not enough. These guys got to consistently win, and without T.Y. Hilton, that is not a guarantee. So that's part of the problem right now.
All right, now you need to run right now. You got time for one more.
Let's do one more. Let's go.
All right, one more with Stephen Holder of The Athletic here. Let's just say tonight, because I don't think they're going to win. Let's say tonight they lose. You start the season 1-4. You see what Tennessee has done. Where are they in the grand scheme of things with a very early look at a possible postseason picture?
Yeah, I mean, I don't like them in this game either. I mean, I think they're getting better. I think they're going to be a viable team at some point. I hope, but I don't like them in this game. I mean, they're beat up and they're on the road, prime time against a team that really tests you. So I don't like them in this game. So that being said, where does that leave them? I think it leaves them in a situation where they have to be perfect. And what I mean by that is not that they have to win every game, but it means that you can't slip up. You can't lose to a Jacksonville. You can't lose to the Jets. You can't lose to these teams that basically you have to win those games now. And then you have to steal a couple games. You're going to have to go to San Francisco and steal one. You're going to have to go somewhere on the road. I mean, I was going to say Buffalo, but that ain't happening. Yeah. So, I mean, my point is you're going to have to win a couple games that no one thinks you can win. That's what you're going to have to do. And that's hard, man. That's hard, especially when you're going to be under consistent pressure for a number of weeks. It's going to be a whole 10, 11-week deal here down the stretch where they're not going to have any margin for error. That's a tough way to live.
Yeah, I completely agree with that, too. Not only maintaining and beating who you should, but then, picking a couple off that maybe people think that you shouldn't. That's a tough atmosphere to be in and be successful in. There's no doubt about that. I know you got to run, Stephen. I appreciate that very much. Enjoy the game tonight. Safe travels back here.
All right, brother. We'll talk later.
It's Stephen Holder, The Athletic, had a weed scent in his hotel room in Baltimore. Joins us via the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. That is tough, but that is what they're looking at if they lose tonight. If they don't, I mean, you really, with one win tonight, you turn around a lot of thoughts in how people have framed up the look of this team. Now, again, easier said than done, but that's what you would do with a win. That's why I mentioned at the outset of the show, this is a gauge. It is. To see if and when this team can start competing with and then ultimately beating teams that are viewed much better, playoff worthy, deeper into the postseason type of worthy. All right, afternoon baseball we got going on right now. Series tied at a game apiece. Game 3 of the NLDS between the Brewers and the Braves. Jock Peterson had a pinch hit 3-run home run. The Braves up 3-0 over the Brewers. Braves batting with 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th inning in that game down in Atlanta. So there you go. Jock Peterson moves around. Listen, you can say what you want about Jock Peterson in the entirety of the year, but you especially go back to his seasons in the past with the Dodgers. He normally does come up pretty big in the postseason, and he did in a pinch hitting role for the Braves a little bit earlier today. In case you did not hear, Astros and White Sox, That series 2-1 Astros and the ALDS postponed due to weather up on the south side of Chicago today. Got two more later on tonight, 7:07 for the Rays and the Red Sox. How about Boston leading that series 2-1 as the Rays try to stay alive, and they're even in the National League. Game 3 between the Giants and the Dodgers tonight from Los Angeles. That is underway this evening, round about 9:37. But we got you covered with the Colts, not only right here until 5:30, but then as we change a pace from this show to me hosting the Colts pregame huddle beginning at 5:30, Joe Wrights, the former Colts offensive lineman, will be in studio down at Emmis. And we got the Gorman who is going to be live with us from M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore coming up as a part of the Colts pregame huddle. That begins coming up at 5:30. More to come. The CarX location. We are in Brownsburg. Thank you for joining us. If you want to slide by, make sure you get some road readiness for your set of wheels here at CarX. Fall road readiness, if you will. Man, they are ready and capable of having you here and making sure that your car, truck, or van is running smoothly. We are here. I'm here, actually, until 7:30 coming up later on tonight as well. All a part of a grand opening week here at this 14th area CarX location. This is located off of Northfield Drive in Brownsburg. All right, quick break and we'll return. I got time for your calls. 239-1070 coming up on the other side. 239-1070. Your calls and your predictions and your thoughts on tonight's game. You got mine so far. We'll dial in with yours coming up on the other side. At JMV 1070 on Twitter and Inside the Lounge via YouTube Live as well. In Brownsburg, CarX location, Northfield Drive, 93.5, 107.5, the stream, the app, and crystal clear in HD2 radio. That's 93 WIBC HD2 if you have the means in your ride. Back with you next. Make sure you're at the only Colts VIP tailgate, BullseyeEventGroup.com. Bullseye is the only place to be before the Colts battle the Texans. BullseyeEventGroup.com now for your tailgate tickets.
Sign up today at BetMGM and enjoy the thrill of victory on your very first bet. The king of sportsbooks welcomes you to Showtime with the lock of the year. Simply place a $10 moneyline wager on either Indianapolis or Baltimore, and if either team scores a touchdown, you'll win $200 in free bets regardless of your bet's outcome. Just use the bonus code THEFAN200. That is all one word, capital T, capital F, when you make your first bet to take advantage of this offer. Enjoy football like never before with BetMGM's live betting options, boosted odds specials, and daily promotions at your fingertips all season long. So download the app or go to BetMGM.com and use that bonus code. Again, that's the FAN200 to win $200 in free bets if either Indianapolis or Baltimore scores a touchdown. Nothing beats a W at BetMGM. New customer offer, paid in free bets. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. Indiana only, must be 21 or older to wager. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
Hey, Big Red Liquors, big giveaway in October is their biggest yet. JMV here for the 59 Big Red Liquors locations in the state of Indiana. And those are the places. I'm talking any store. You can sign up for the right to buy bourbon's rarest bottle of all. Are you ready? Pappy Van Winkle, along with other rare bourbons. Plus, Big Red is offering 20% off all bourbons all month long when you buy 2 bottles or more. And enter to win at any store. Up to once per day, you can enter for the right to buy a bottle of Pappy Van Winkle. Listen, as somebody that loves bourbon, I know exactly how much you love this, and you're always trying to track this down. Here's your opportunity to win the right to buy a bottle of Pappy Van Winkle and other rare bourbons, free and open to all VIPs as well. Big Red Liquor, sign up. Got to be 21. Again, 59 Indiana locations of Big Red Liquors. For more info online, BigRedLiquors.com today.
As our troops are coming home, every business should be finding ways to thank and honor them for their service. We created the Hero Loan. We pay for your appraisal, secure you a mortgage rate up to a full point lower than other loans, and work our tails off to get your VA loan closed in as little as 14 days. We are locking loans in the 2s. Get the service that you deserve and refinance today at HeroLoan.com. The only way to VA.
The Home Loan Expert LLC, NMLS number 1326241.
Hey, it's Andy Moore Buick GMC 131st and State Road 37. It is in Fishers. So my friend Eric Wilson, we talk often, and he just wanted to remind me of this. He runs the place up there, and he wants you to have the best car buying experience possible. And considering the situations that we're in right now, it has been tough on others. And I'm talking being tough regarding inventory. But inventory is what they have right now. So if you're in the market for a new set of wheels, I want, and Eric Wilson wants you to maintain that incredible level of shopping opportunity at one place, and at one place only. That's your best chance to get a new set of wheels with a great inventory at one place and one place only. That's Andy Moore Buick Andy Moore Buick GMC. Tell him I sent you. That is 131 State Road 37 in Fishers today.
When winter's at its worst, snowplow professionals need the best. That's why your local Boss dealer has the ultimate lineup of snow and ice solutions you need. Front to back, Boss leads with advanced truck plows and spreaders, compact equipment, heavy equipment, and time-saving tools to clear any surface area. Keep them open with a Boss snowplow, built to back you up.
Join the Boss Owners Group and get a $50 rebate right now with a preseason Boss plow inspection at Mid-State Truck Equipment. Online at mid-statetruck.com.
Message to Amy Spin Class. Happy 3rd, 29th birthday, Amy! Exclamation point. Ha ha. Balloon emoji. Balloon emoji. Balloon emoji.
You're good at voice to text.
Pizza emoji.
We're good at your insurance. Find an Indiana Farm Bureau insurance agent online, over the phone, or in person. And stop knocking on wood.
There's never been a better time to switch to Spectrum Mobile. You could save hundreds of dollars on your mobile bill. Plus, there are no added taxes, hidden fees, and no contracts. Try the Spectrum Mobile Savings Calculator today, and in 3 easy steps, you'll see how much you could save by switching. Visit spectrummobile.com/save. Spectrum Internet required. Savings may vary. Restrictions apply. Visit spectrummobile.com/save for details.
Hey, John here from Mark Deedle Realty, 317-755-4232. MarkDeedle.com. That's Mark, DIETEL.com. People ask me all the time. Now, again, I've been in the same spot since 2004, but I'm always up to hear about, because I love where I live, and the only thing I would ever do is move further out, right? So I live out in the country right now. Further out, basically, is the only thing I would ever do. And if you're thinking about maybe something similar, or maybe you have kids now that have gone off to college, you're empty nesters, and you want to downsize a little bit, I'm going to give you the absolute best. This Mark Deedle Realty today. He's the only agent who guarantees multiple offers in 3 days for full market value, or he's going to sell it absolutely free. He is the best for that reason. So dial this number now, 317-755-4232, 317-755-4232. That's markdeedle.com. Tell him I sent you. Mark, DIETEL.com today.
We've done it again.
Golden Oak Lending has dropped rates even lower.
I'm James Hawkins, president of Golden Oak. With a 1.875% rate and home values up, you can get more cash out now.
Call 317-706-GOLD today and make no mortgage payments until next year.
Golden Oak Landing, join my blue.
NMLS 114937, 1.875% fixed, 2.952% APR, FHA 15-year mortgage with 20% equity and approved credit.
Sports Center updates on the Fan are brought to you by Big O Tires. Save up to $150 off select tires now through October 31st. Only at your locally owned and operated Big O Tires, the team you trust.
Sports with Dan Dakich.
Greg Cosell. What do you think overall of Carson Wentz?
Just watching Wentz at this point, I think there's certain things that are problematic. I think he leaves some throws on the field. There are times he waits too long for routes to develop. Other times he just doesn't turn it loose when the throws are there. The result is that he gets stuck in the pocket and he takes too many hits and sacks.
Dan Dakich, weekdays noon to 3 on 93.5 and 107.5. The Fan. The Ride with JMV.
Hey, you gonna stare all day or you gonna buy something? I'm gonna stare all day.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
We are in Brownsburg today at the CarX location. And you're probably wondering, well, wait a minute, don't you have Colts pregame huddle coming up? And I do. At 5:30, I'll be hosting that, but I'll be hanging out here with Joe Childers and the great deals at the Brownsburg location on Northfield Drive of CarX. I'll be doing the Colts pregame huddle right here as well. Former O-lineman Joe Wrights. Joe is going to be in studio. And I get word because the Gorman actually just sent me a text. The Gorman is going to be staked out for us at M&T Bank Stadium coming up tonight in preparation for the Monday Nighter. So there you go. Gorman in Baltimore for us. Joe Wrights is going to be here in studio, and we have got a lot going for you on the Colts pregame huddle coming up tonight. And again, that starts at 5:30. I love to see you here at the CarX location. We're off of Northfield Drive in Brownsburg. If you got time, slide over here because I'm at least going to be here with Joe Childers until 7:30 tonight. Jamison Hensley, who covers the Baltimore Ravens, has mentioned this and tweeted this, that the Ravens did not elevate running back Le'Veon Bell off the practice squad. So the three running backs versus the Colts tonight, Latavius Murray, Tyson Williams, and Devontae Freeman are the three running backs that are going to be good to go for the Ravens coming up later on tonight. But again, they've still been able to run the football regardless. I mean, massive injuries to start the season, especially at running back. And now things are in working order. There's no doubt about that. Last season, some of you have asked this. How did Carson Wentz play a year ago as a member of the Eagles? Baltimore sacked him 6 times last year. Calais Campbell, who I mentioned last week in our conversation with voice of the Colts, Matt Taylor, Calais Campbell had 3 of those last year. And the Ravens are coming off a game. You got to keep this in mind, too. Coming off a game in Denver where they sacked the quarterback 5 times. And that is something that we'll talk about because we got Joe Wrights coming on here during the Colts pregame huddle. You look at this offensive line and how banged up again, and even before it got completely banged up, the lack of effectiveness that it had to. This is a bad combination right here. Again, we're talking about year to year. That was a different team with the Eagles, but it was a banged up offensive line too. It was also banged up and ineffective. But a year ago, 6 times he was sacked. Calais Campbell had 3, and the Ravens are coming off a game in which they sacked the Denver quarterback a total of 5 times. So that is incredibly tough right there. And no doubt about that. JMV at 1070thefan.com is the email address. JMV. Justin Houston, the former Colts defensive player, is now a member of this Ravens squad. What's your expectation tonight going against his former team? It does wear me out. The whole revenge game stuff does wear me out just a little bit. He's kind of like he was here, just kind of fit in and was okay. I mean, nothing spectacular. Just their defense as a whole has been really good. It always consistently is pretty good. And really, we haven't pointed out the fact that they've had to deal with multi-injuries too. I mean, really defensively, secondary-wise, injuries, they've dealt with a great deal themselves. So, yeah, that has been absolutely difficult on them. But, yeah, you look at the way this thing is right now, problematic. JMV, what do you think about Diggs of the Cowboys? 5 games, front run. I mean, what's he got, 6 interceptions or something like that in 5 games, which is sick. Hey, Dallas didn't even play that well yesterday against the Giants and still got it done. And they got CeeDee Lamb the ball, which makes me very happy, fantasy-wise. Yesterday was an interesting day all the way around when you think about it. I mean, an interesting day all the way around, starting in London with the Jets, and I felt good about that call. I didn't think the Jets were going to be able to back up what they did against the Titans the week prior, and they certainly didn't. Atlanta with a bad defense. Atlanta beats the Jets in a fashion in which I predicted in our Larceny Bourbon Locks and Luna Azul Tequila shots on Thursday. That made me feel good. Tom Brady just continues to throw touchdown passes. I mean, what he hit? Antonio Brown a couple of different times. I think Mike Evans got one as well down there. And Tampa Bay rolled over Miami as expected. Philadelphia, maybe that surprise against Carolina. I don't know so much about New Orleans surprising on the road at Washington. It seems like, Washington, the football team, is like Jekyll and Hyde one week or the other. They're hard to get a really good betting read on often. Tennessee, and I said this was the absolute lock of the day. Tennessee going to Jacksonville. I think at the time we put this down on Thursday, Tennessee were 4.5-point favorites. I mean, hell, that was never in doubt. If there was something you knew, that might have been the easiest bet of the year so far. Considering what has transpired, just considering how, in this case, not good the Jags are, you just knew that was coming. And no doubt about it, you should have known that was coming if you didn't know that was coming. Dan Campbell shed some tears. Detroit seems to hang in, never can get it done. How about Juju Smith-Schuster done for the season? This is a guy in Pittsburgh that did not find the offseason wide receiver market as robust as he would have liked, and he decided to re-up. He, in a similar situation as T.Y. Hilton, and that's somebody we may discuss a little bit coming up a little bit later on too, because if you remember, T.Y. Hilton here, we haven't seen him yet this season, but T.Y. Hilton here, he was all but gone. And this is according to T.Y. Hilton, all but gone and going to Baltimore as a free agent signing. And Jim Irsay is the one that stepped in and sweetened the deal financially enough for him to stay for this one-year deal, and we have not seen him. Now, Smith-Schuster in Pittsburgh did not find an off-season wide receiving market that robust. Thus, he decided to stay in Pittsburgh on a one-year deal, and now with a shoulder injury, he is done for the season. Chase Claypool had a big afternoon for the Steelers yesterday. There's no doubt about that, but kind of interesting to see a couple of guys that have performed to a high level in the past on one-year deals. One is done for the season, and one in T.Y. Hilton we have yet to see play for the Colts in 2021. Cincinnati, Green Bay. Cincinnati did cover, but had 2-3 different opportunities to win. They didn't. Mason Crosby finally kicked that thing through the uprights and gave the Packers a road win at Cincinnati yesterday. Houston probably kept that thing a lot closer than most thought. I think that started out at either 9 or 9.5 points as New England a road favorite in Houston. A lot closer, I guess, than people thought in Vegas, certainly. The Raiders, if there were a second easiest call, and I wasn't on top of that, I was the knucklehead here. A second easiest call, that should have been it. The Bears on the road get that win in Vegas. Unfortunately, the Browns let everybody down. Justin Herbert is legit at quarterback for real. Chargers over the Browns. Dallas looked good yesterday. Arizona survived at home versus San Fran. Of course, the Colts are going to see the Niners in the next couple of weeks out in San Jose in that matchup. Buffalo, Kansas City. This is one that I felt really good about. I felt really good about Buffalo kind of laying their claim. And that's exactly what they did. I had picked before the start of the season Josh Allen as the MVP. And again, we're not going out on any ledges, any limbs here. This is just stuff, if you watch football, that I think it would be easy to guess, easy to predict. But I picked Josh Allen to be the MVP. And if you want to talk about Kyler Murray and Josh Allen, they're probably right there together. And Josh Allen looked really good for Buffalo last night on the road in Kansas City in their victory over the Kansas City Chiefs. Now all of a sudden you have everybody that covers the NFL nationally all kind of talking a little bit about how Kansas City may not be as advertised. It's funny. I think I heard this morning that I read this. Somebody had written, hey, all those people that felt Kansas City could go unbeaten, I don't know if anybody I read ever had suggested that, but it looked like that Buffalo laid claim in the AFC, at least early season-wise. Yesterday, or last night, if you will, with that win on the road at Arrowhead. That was impressive. At JMV 1070 on Twitter, this from Doug. Baltimore still mad at the Colts, or has enough time passed regarding the Mayflower? You know, I think you've got to be of a certain age. I'm assuming the only folks that might be left that are still bent out of shape over that would be those of my age and older. Otherwise, you probably don't know. And really, I mean, you look at what happened since, the Browns moved over and became the Ravens. I mean, you if you're a Ravens fan right now, I mean, you're probably feeling pretty solid about this thing altogether, right? And the ultimate exchange. But, yeah, I mean, you go back so far with this organizationally, you get people that are my age and older are still probably going to have some salty feelings about it. But for the most part, I think, Doug, everybody has moved on, and I think rightly so, has moved on after that. JMV, I think the game tonight comes down to the D-line. If they play well, we have a chance. What say you? I don't think there's any question about that. I mean, if they're able to play to the level in which they played against Lamar Jackson in the first half a year ago, give them a puncher's chance. I think the problem is that even a year ago they played at that level, and that all went away in the second half. All went away in the second half, and you keep Baltimore out of their comfort zone if you are able to consistently put up points. And I don't mean selling for three. I don't mean selling for three whatsoever. I mean consistently putting up points. Right when they say, hey, the best defense is a good offense. I mean, this good offense, like the quarterback has put up decent numbers so far this year, right? But this offense is still searching. This offense has to be consistent to me to give this defense a really fighting chance coming up tonight. All right, we're live at Brownsburg. We're at the CarX location, Northfield Drive. You want to join us out here? We'd love to see you. We got the Colts pregame huddle coming at you at 5:30 today. Chris Hagan from Baltimore from Fox 59 a little bit earlier. Everybody is kind of dealing with the flight cancellations, and I'm assuming for Chris that was a Southwest flight. You get a lot of cancellations. I know that the Colts radio team here also had to deal with that. Did they not? So that has been an issue. Chris and Wes Woodward, their longtime fantastic cameraman and sports producer, had their flight yesterday afternoon canceled. Thus, they decided to hop in a car and drive to Baltimore. So they're there with your coverage on Fox 59 coming up later on tonight. The Gorman's going to join us from M&T Bank Stadium at 5:30 once the Colts pregame huddle is underway. Joe Rice, the former Colts offensive lineman, is going to be in studio. I will maintain my status here on Northfield Drive at CarX, the location in Brownsburg, for you as we start the Colts pregame huddle beginning at 5:30. Time for you on the other side at 239-1070. Your email, jmv at 1070thefan.com. I did forget to remind you, and I should have, we have Dirk's Bentley tickets to give away all week long. So, Kyle, you give me a reminder coming up toward the end of the show. We'll make sure somebody gets those tickets for Ruoff Home Mortgage Music Center, one of the more favorable acts in country music that people love. Dirk's Bentley. We've got tickets to give away before we head on off to the Colts pregame huddle today at 5:30. CarX in Brownsburg, Northfield Drive, looking for you on a busy Monday. Week 5's capper. That is tonight. Baltimore, the matchup with the Colts and the Ravens. We got you covered all the way through. 93.5, 107.5, the stream, the app. Crystal clear HD radio. That's 93.1 WIBC HD2 if you have it in your set of wheels. Back with you next.
Kids, this fall, tell your parents about Forum Credit Union's Sprout of the Month contest, where you could win $100 in a Sprout account. Details at 1075thefan.com.
We've done it again.
Golden Oak Lending has dropped rates even lower.
I'm James Hawkins, president of Golden Oak. With a 1.875% rate and home values up, you can get more cash out now.
Call 317-706-GOLD today and make no mortgage payments until next year.
Golden Oak Landing, join my blue.
NMLS 114937, 1.875% fixed, 2.952% APR, FHA 15-year mortgage with 20% equity and approved credit.
Hey, this is one thing that I really loved among a variety of things about my friends at Diamonds Direct. It's JMV here, and here it is. At Diamonds Direct, they always offer a 110% diamond upgrade guarantee. So when you buy a diamond and later decide to trade it in for a bigger one, they will give you 110% off of your original purchase price toward the new diamond. It's 110% guaranteed appreciation of your original diamond. I mean, it's fantastic. It's a great deal, and yet another reason that makes Diamonds Direct the best. If you're looking for something special, whether it's an engagement ring opportunity for you know how great you have to be there, a birthday gift, an anniversary gift, there's one place and one place only. That's with my friends at Diamonds Direct. You know how much I love warranties and guarantees. They always give you that. Plus, the best selection anywhere at one place. That's Diamonds Direct online, diamondsdirect.com for store hours and the location today. Diamonds Direct, it's Keystone at the Crossing.
Oh, you know that old injury of yours, the one in your knee or maybe back? Instead of going to the doctor and then doing physical therapy, why not start with therapy first? Athletico Physical Therapy is changing the whole healing process around. Their physical therapists will find the source of your pain and help fix it. Start with them and start living pain-free. Just like that.
It all starts with Athletico Physical Therapy. Schedule your free assessment at athletico.com. No prescription needed. Official sponsor of IU Athletics.
Boost and Cricket charge more for unlimited 5G. Metro doesn't. Introducing the big 5G upgrade from Metro by T-Mobile. Just $25 a month gets you unlimited 5G and a free 5G smartphone. That's half the price of Boost and Cricket's top plans. So ditch your overpriced connections and switch to Metro, the leader in prepaid. Experience 5G speed at no extra cost and step up big time with the big 5G upgrade. Get one line of unlimited 5G smartphone data plus a free Samsung Galaxy 5G when you trade in. All with the power of the T-Mobile 5G network. Rule your day with 5G. Only at Metro. Limited time in-store only. If congested data users greater than 35 gigabytes per month notice lower speeds, and Metro customers notice lower speeds versus T-Mobile due to deprioritization. Leader based on prepaid subs June 2021. Save half based on one-line Boost and Cricket unlimited plan. See store for details.
Bullseye, eventgroup.com. The Colts VIP Tailgate. I cannot wait until the party is back in Indy coming up on Sunday. After 3 weeks away, the Colts are back in town to take on the Texans, and you could be a part of the best pregame party anywhere with Bullseye, eventgroup.com. If you've not been before, you're going to ask me, so how does this go? It is easy. It's all you can eat. You dig that? It is all you can drink. You absolutely love that. And you're inside the Bullseye Event Center. DJ Skids, DJ Helicon, they have the entertainment for you. It is the absolute best. In fact, no matter what happens over at Lucas Oil Stadium, you still will have the best game day experience just by virtue of hitting up the Colts VIP Tailgate presented by Hayes & Sons Restoration. And by the way, if you don't have tickets to the game, you can combo it up, tickets to the game and passes to the Colts VIP Tailgate presented by Hayes & Sons Restoration. Make sure you're there. Dial it up right now. Log on. BullseyeEventGroup.com.
The house you're living in could cost you less. You've just got to refinance to one of these insanely low mortgage rates. Guys, it's Stan Dockage for my friends at American Financing, reminding you that there's never been a better time to get a free mortgage review. There's no obligation, no upfront fees, just a simple conversation around which program may be a better fit. Rates really are at all-time lows, and chances are you can benefit. Even if you refinanced or bought a home last year, you still may be eligible. It could mean lowering your monthly payments plus tens of thousands of dollars in long-term savings without restarting your term. You know what else? You may even be able to postpone 2 mortgage payments, creating even greater upfront savings. So don't put a refinancing off any longer. Rates won't stay this low forever. Call 463-223-1418. That's 463-223-1418 or visit AmericanFinancing.net.
NMLS 182334, NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
Always trying to give you the best advice possible, especially for situations that I know I can't comprehend. and maybe I'm thinking you can as well. We deal with things, especially those that go haywire. The unforeseen situation so much better when we feel somebody, security-wise, has our back. And in this case, Lance and his local team at LD Smith Plumbing, they do. 317-284-9526. I know by experience an emergency situation is easy for Lance and his local team. Thus, I feel secure that if anything goes haywire on my plumbing, that Lance and his local team, they have my back. If you want that security, and believe me, you should, 317-284-9526 today. The easy jobs, the difficult ones, and all the emergencies, know that you do have somebody here locally that has your back. That's Lance and his team at LD Smith Plumbing online, ldsmithplumbing.com today.
Ever since you Dirks Bentley. Beers on Me Tour 2021. This Friday, Ruoff Music Center. And he's bringing along special guests, Mitchell Tenpenny. Cause on me, can't get over you. And the Cadillac 3. Dirks Bentley, live in concert. I'm getting drunk on the plane. Reserve seat tickets are on sale now at livenation.com.
Hey, this is Jeff Saturday, and you've heard me talk about More Restoration for years. And yes, it's true, I've used More Restoration on my home 3 separate times for a fire and flooding. I care about my family, and More made me feel confident in using them. Kenny and the team at More have just become a part of First On Site, making them one of the largest restoration companies in Indiana and North America. Same people, same personal customer service, but large enough to handle any loss, any disaster with First On Site. When you need help, call the people Jeff Saturday calls. Call More Restoration, a First On Site company.
All right, join me tomorrow. Kevin Bowen's going to join. It is a post-Colts game tomorrow, which means hopefully it's a post-Colts win. Also, Tom Allen joins. Join me tomorrow.
The Ride with JMV.
You just got your asses whipped by a bunch of damn nerds.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Hey, welcome back to CarX in Brownsburg on this Monday. Shout out to Joe Childers and Anthony for having us out here off of Northfield Drive. It is a grand opening week for our friends at CarX here in Brownsburg. That continues even after we leave coming up later on tonight. In fact, Saturday is going to be a blast around here. So if you're anywhere near the area, if you're staked out in Hendricks County, you want to stop by here and get the best service anywhere, and that is at the CarX. I mentioned, too, I've got my older truck that's got 275,000 miles on it, most of which has been serviced by Joe Childers and Micah and or Anthony and his staff at CarX, man, and they do a tremendous job. So check them out whenever you have the opportunity, if not today, at some point later on this week, and certainly for their grand opening event week and then Saturday, which should be fantastic around here. At JMV 1070, this show is on Twitter. If you guys want to log into there, that'd be fantastic. JMV at 1070thefan.com is the email address. Hey, JMV, October is the best sports month of the year. The NFL in full swing. NCAA Football League playing full swing, MLB postseason, NASCAR postseason, NBA preseason, NCAA hoops starting practice. Other than the NBA, all games and all the on-the-track stuff means something, so competition is fierce. It's Mike in Beech Grove. I do like this time of year. I will say this, though. And I may be the only one that still enjoys it as much as I talk about, I guess, because, hell, nobody else does. I loved it when the NBA started their season on Christmas Day. And, you know, I love NBA because I love basketball, but it just seems like that is so lost in the shuffle of all this other stuff that's going on. To me, it is fantastic to have it start. It just meant so much more. And I know that I also liked it going in to finish the season in July. And again, I probably am the only one that liked it going into July because those that do the TV ratings thing, July is not great for them. So going back to the regularly scheduled programming as far as the season ending is concerned in mid to late June is where they're going to go. But I loved it. I did. I absolutely loved it a year ago. But Mike, It's hard to disagree with that assessment because, you go this time of year and you got something happening that's big. My best example at the top of the show was talking about how I was on with Bob Lovell on Saturday afternoon, and he had IU and Purdue not playing. And up until that point, other than the Red River rivalry, the shootout between Oklahoma and Texas, I mean, it really didn't feel like that it was a great Saturday, and man, it didn't take it very long to add to that and have Texas A&M upsetting Alabama, having that game up in Iowa City between the Hawkeyes and Penn State. I mean, that thing gained ground quickly. There's no doubt about that, and turned into a great Saturday. And overall, you factor in yesterday and NFL's Week 5 Sunday was pretty outstanding too. Sunday Night Football, with Buffalo serving notice in the AFC on the road at Arrowhead. All pretty impressive. So you're probably right. And, by the way, too, MLB. And if you did not hear, White Sox and Astros postponed due to weather up on Chicago's south side a little bit earlier today, and they'll get back at it coming up tomorrow. By the way, NLDS Game 3 in the books in Atlanta. Jock Peterson, a pinch hit 3-run home run. That was the difference. The Braves over the Brewers earlier today, and now the Braves have a closeout opportunity coming up tomorrow as well. Later on tonight, speaking of closeout, you got the Rays trying to stave off elimination on the road against the Boston Red Sox. Red Sox up 2-1. Even at 1 at Chavez Ravine in L.A. Giants and Dodgers coming up at you later on tonight. The Gorman live from Baltimore is going to join us coming up in a bit, live from Carex in Brownsburg, 30 minutes away or more from the start of the Colts pregame huddle. We put the finishing touches on Week 5, the Monday Nighters, the Colts, and the Ravens. We got you covered coming up on the Colts pregame huddle, bottom of the hour. Back with you, the Gorman from Baltimore, and more coming up next.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan, your home for indie sports. Now with even more ways to listen.
Listen on air.
Online at 1075thefan.com.
And on our free app.
Stay connected to all things indie sports, including the latest news, show blogs, and catch up on what you've missed with our podcast.
We're never more than just a click away.
Download our app at Google Play and on the App Store. From your home for indie sports.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Sometimes I don't know a lot about stuff. And I lean on people for advice about this stuff. And no, I'm not in the market to move right now. But considering the market itself, maybe there are a lot of folks out there that are. It's very Halloween-esque right there, Cam. Maybe a lot of people are. And I want to be speaking to you right now because I want you to go with the best. I want you to get the most out of your property right now and go exactly where you want to go into your new digs. And that's why I want you to hook up with Mark Dietl today. 317-755-4232. Again, that's Mark Dietl Realty. 317-755-4232. Online, markdietl.com. Mark, DIETEL.com. Nobody better, and I mean nobody better to get out of what you're wanting to get the most out of your property and then to get ultimately exactly where you want to go. In fact, he's the only agent who's going to guarantee multiple offers in 3 days for full market value, or he's going to sell it for free. That's a guarantee that you can trust with Mark Dietl. 317-755-4232. 317-755-4232. That's markdietl.com. Mark, DIETEL.com today.
Hi, I'm Ryan Kelly with thehomeloanexpert.com. This year, our average client saved over $350 a month with an easy rate reduction refinance. What would you do with an extra $350 a month? Buy a new car? Pay down the credit cards? Or possibly take the family on that much-needed vacation? We are locking loans in the twos. How much could you save? Let's find out today. Visit thehomeloanexpert.com.
The Home Loan Expert LLC, NMLS number 1326241.
When we at AmericanEagle.com were asked by our client, Repair Clinic, to, repair their website, our digital marketing experts, like Tim, rolled up their sleeves and got to work. If you know Tim, you know that he loves a good challenge, which meant that this project was pretty much the highlight of Tim's year. From improving slow-loading performance that plagued our client's site to slashing duplicate pages and building an optimized sitemap, Tim was like a real-life action hero. But of website optimization. And our client reaped the benefits with major strides in their SEO, like more traffic, impressions, and revenue. Tim and the team even helped them create search and email marketing campaigns and better ongoing analytics tracking. However complex your digital challenges, from digital marketing and strategy to web development, UX, and more, talk to the experts at AmericanEagle.com. Don't just grow, soar.
Hey, John for PAI, it's WeGrowHairIndy.com. So if you're thinking about the fact you look in the mirror and you're losing your hair and you say, what can I do about that? I can give you the advice, but I can further you to Darren Andrews at PAI at 888-724-5129. He's going to explain to you in full detail about how you can get your real growing hair again. Seriously, nothing fake about it. No glue, no tape, no spray on. Your real growing hair through multi-unit hair grafting, artist robotic FUE, laser hair therapy, and PRP at one place. It's Darren Andrews for that advice you need if you want the option of your real growing hair again with PAI. 888-724-5129. WeGrowHairIndy.com today.
This is how we reinvent banking.
Say the money's gone tight in your spending account, but your car needs fixing and you're down and out. Ouch. Who can help with the loan when you're stuck from 100 up to $1,000 with no interest when you auto pay us back, son? One gas starts with H ends with Huntington.
Introducing Standby Cash. Extra cash when you need it. Free when you auto pay it back. Huntington, welcome. Without automatic payments. 12% APR. Eligibility requirements apply. Amount available is based on customer eligibility. Learn more at huntington.com/standbycash.
It's Big Red Liquor's 59 Indiana locations, and I've talked about this before. They have been great on giving stuff away, and they're going to make October very bourbon for you. You know what I mean? And here's exactly what I mean. Any store, any of the 59 locations, right now you can sign up to buy one of bourbon's rarest bottles of all, Pappy Van Winkle. Pappy Van Winkle, you can sign up to win the opportunity to buy a bottle. Got to be 21. You can sign up, I believe, once a day per location. You're thinking, man, is that going to be that popular? If you're going to ask somebody that is really deep down into bourbon, they're going to tell you just how much and how sought after Pappy Van Winkle is. Here's your opportunity to take advantage of it with Big Red Liquors. Free and open to all VIPs as well. It's 59 Indiana locations of Big Red Liquors. To find that location nearest you, BigRedLiquors.com today.
Tonight, Monday night, the Colts are on the road in Baltimore for an AFC showdown in primetime. It's Monday Night Football, and Wish TV is your station for the game. Carson Wentz goes head-to-head with Lamar Jackson. Tonight, Monday night, and Wish TV is on the road with all the exclusive coverage before, during, and after the game. Colts, Ravens, Monday Night Football. Watch tonight, Monday night, on Wish TV. Get even more exclusive access at WishTV.com and when you follow Wish TV on Facebook.
All right, BullseyeEventGroup.com, Colts VIP Tailgate. Make sure you're ready because the Colts have been out of town for 3 consecutive weeks. Now is your chance to get back. They take on the Texans on Sunday. Bullseye Event Center should be crowded and good to go, and that makes your game day experience the best it can be. Even before they kick off against the Texans on Sunday afternoon, all you can eat, all you can drink. Celebrity chef Aaron May prepares the food. This is spectacular. It's the Bullseye Event Center with BullseyeEventGroup.com. Colts VIP Tailgate presented by Hayes & Sons Restoration. Go ahead, log on, get your passes. You need tickets to the game. Combo that up with BullseyeEventGroup.com today.
We've done it again.
Golden Oak Lending has dropped rates even lower.
I'm James Hawkins, president of Golden Oak. With a 1.875% rate and home values up, you can get more cash out now.
Call 317-706-GOLD today and make no mortgage payments until next year.
Golden Oak Landing cured my blues.
NMLS 114937, 1.875% fixed, 2.952% APR, FHA 15-year mortgage with 20% equity and approved credit.
93.5 and 107.5, The Fan.
WIBC HD2, W298BB, WIBC HD3, W228CX, Indianapolis.
The Pacers are home for a preseason game with the Memphis Grizzlies. Wednesday evening at 6:30 on 93.5 and 107.5, The Fan. The Ride with JMV.
And whenever we need a brilliant insight, he's available at the drop of a hat.
Hey, Mom! I'm done with my segment!
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
This sounds like Dierks Bentley to me right here. Dierks Bentley, Ruoff Home Mortgage Music Center. That's coming up this Friday, October the 15th. How about number 9 at 239-1070? Dierks Bentley, number 9 at 239-1070 is going to go. You're not privy to this because it was a personal call I took a little bit earlier today. I explain this all the time regarding Live Nation. Years ago, Kyle and the gang at Live Nation realized that utilizing this show for concert promotion and giveaways is the best. And the reason being is sports fans out there love music as much as they love sports. And the best part about this, we don't have to be a country station to give away Dierks Bentley tickets. We don't have to be a rock station to give away Megadeth tickets. We don't have to be an 80s station to give away Violent Femmes tickets. You know what I mean? We cover everybody, every single demographic. And a shout out to Kyle and the gang of Live Nation for getting that done for us each and every time, including the country look with Dierks Bentley coming up this Friday. Number 9's a winner at 239-1070. CarX location, we're in Brownsburg. Joe Childers is going to join us coming up in just a second to close us out on this show, and then we'll get into the Colts pregame huddle at the bottom of the hour. But on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline, staked out in the press box at M&T Bank Stadium, ready for the Colts pregame huddle. He is the Gorman on location. Gorman, hello.
If you were Dierks Bentley's brother, you'd be Jerks Bentley. What do you think? Huh?
Did it really take you? I gave you 5 minutes to think about how you're going to start, and that's the way you started right there?
It was 10 minutes thinking, how am I going to start? And then I got a lead in from Dierks Bentley, and I thought, well, if he had a stupid, older brother, it'd be Jerks Bentley. It'd be you.
Man, you got to be better than that. I'm like, you're on location. You're actually there on location. I know. You got to be better than that. People expect better. I mean, even if you do, you're like a bit player in a lot of these old sci-fi movies. I know you still have your SAG card, and anytime there's you don't get that part for the Sharknado Part 9 any longer. I mean, you got to be better than that still.
I understand, but see, I'm stuffing my face with 3-day-old popcorn in the press box here in Baltimore, so I'm just being straight with you. I can't wait for the. Hey, a lot of storylines going on tonight, John Boy.
Yeah,
a lot of storylines out there, which I love.
I want to ask you about this one first. Hold on to your storylines because somebody asked me if it still is a salty, deeply rooted matter regarding the Colts being in Baltimore, as it has been certainly in years past. I had mentioned this. I think it's like my generation, your generation, and older that still kind of get bent out of shape if you're, a former Baltimore Colts fan. But do they really take it that seriously over there anymore?
No, I don't see it at all. Zero chance, because the new wave of fan is in here, and these Ravens have already hoisted the Lombardi. So, I mean, it's exactly the age group that you just described. It's about 60 and older that are like, hey, screw old man Irsay and the Colts. I want my Unitas back. They're still out there, but it's nothing like, it's nothing like 15 years ago when Irsay come here, and he'd have to have extra security lined up at the front of his suite because they'd be tall, turned around, flipping the birds, wearing T-shirts of people pissing on his dad's grave and stuff. It was brutal. And anytime he went out in public, he had to have extra security. But that, like I said, was 15 years ago. And afterwards, it just kind of melded away a little bit. I don't know what it was, but there was a couple of games there right around the Super Bowl run where it was just, a rivalry that really wasn't one like that, but it turned into it. But like I said, John, in the last decade, 5 years, it's been, hey, we moved out, and everybody's got their own team, let's roll.
So the Gormans at M&T Bank Stadium in preparation for the Colts pregame huddle, which we start coming up at the bottom of the hour. Joe Reitz will be in studio with us as well to help break things down. You mentioned storylines, and you've got a lot of work, I think, pre-show work done there. Where do you start as far as these storylines for MNF would be concerned tonight?
Gosh, it's scary because we always go, and I was listening to you on the drive in here, If you haven't downloaded that 93.5 and 107.5 app, do yourself a favor. How about that, John? A little marketing for
It's
your
about
station
time,
right
man.
there.
It's only taken 19 shows. Thanks.
No, Lamar, though, I mean, he is averaging 350 yards by himself. When he steps on the field, you can book it. He's worth 350, 250 with his arm and 100 with his legs, or somewhere thereabouts. But he's had the best throwing days of his professional career 2 out of the last 3 weeks. So it just got scarier for us because this guy, who everybody says is a runner, which he is, he's scaring people with his arm right here. And don't forget, we got that 44 games in a row with 100 yards or more on the line tonight for these Baltimore Ravens against the Colts. So last week we saw what Lamar did. I don't know if you spoke about it earlier, that little 4 yards, little stamper to get himself 4 yards over the 100-yard mark. Well, this one breaks the record with the Steelers tonight if they go over 100. And Eberflus said earlier in the week, hey, it's another ball game. We're trying to stop each play. We don't look at those things. But it's out there, John, and these guys want it. If Harbaugh's going to take, an extra play without taking a knee to get the record, well, he's going for this sucker tonight, big time.
It's, the Gormans in Baltimore for us, Colts pregame huddle. He's with us coming up at the bottom of the hour. It's worth noting that a year ago in the first half, Colts defensively looked really good against Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. After that, in the second half, not so much. And in large part, it was Darius Leonard who was spying on Lamar Jackson from that his linebacker position. And we know that he's not always practicing. He'll practice at the end of the week just to make sure he plays, on Sunday, or in this case, on Monday night. Is he health-wise up to that particular task as we saw him try to perform a year ago?
John, he wouldn't be on the field if he wasn't. I know that's a generic answer, but you know what I mean? It's like, 100% EJ Speed's got to be better than a 70% Darius Leonard. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying those are the odds at all. I'm just saying, for example. So if he's on the field tonight, they're giving him that close to 100% go because, just like you said, you want a tall order? Yeah, go ahead and shadow Lamar Jackson in his backyard for an afternoon and evening.
Yeah, it's interesting you brought that up, too, regarding them going down the field more, because that was something a year ago, and I brought this up last week and then again earlier today, that Marquise Brown was about as outspoken as you can be as far as not getting the ball in playmaking situations enough. And I'm assuming that was appetized by virtue of what they're trying to do down the field more this season. Have you gathered that?
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking at their offense, yeah, that kid's a special player, and he's saying, hey, stuff ain't happening right. It's like, just hold on. We had 1 game under his belt, 2 games under his belt. He starts chirping, and the next thing you know, I mean, they're tough as they get. I mean, this is going to be tough because, I mean, you're talking about guys that are, 4 receptions for 100 yards and a TD type of guy. So those 4 receptions are averaging close to 20 yards, if not more, 25 yards a play. That's what he brings, and that's the scary part because this kid can get him the ball. He doesn't have to run it to him. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a scary thought that he's getting better as the season progresses along with his arm because everybody puts him as a runner the way he is. But, they're loaded there, too. Don't forget about Latavius Murray back there. There'll be no Le'Veon Bell tonight, but they can still run the football. And, these guys, I wish every team wanted to be like they were over the decade because when you walk into this barn, John, they're tough. I don't know whether it's the ghost of Ray Lewis or whatever it is, but these guys are going to take a tire iron to you in the alleyway if you act up. I mean, that's the mentality of playing these Baltimore Ravens. It's what I know a lot of teams across the NFL wish they had, but every year in, year out, which we're going to talk about on the show coming up, when we have a game show host running this, eclectic defense like they're doing, we got to find some answers tonight because this is going to be an alley fight, and these guys are bringing tire irons and everything else that they had. That's just what you get in Baltimore, even with Lamar Jackson, who's as graceful and beautiful a runner as the NFL has seen. I'm talking about on both sides of the ball, these guys are tough.
How long did it take you to come up with that Wink Martindale reference right there? Did that take a while?
That one just rolled up because I was thinking earlier when I read something, he didn't do Joker's Wild.
I was going to say that. You don't even know what he hosted. You don't.
Yeah,
he brought it up.
He hosted this for another show, but I was on a game show that he hosted called DEBT, D-E-B-T. There is video footage out there. I was the first one off. I missed a 90210 question. I got kicked off the show, but that was with Wink Martindale. Yeah, that's
Wink Martindale, famously in the late 70s and early 80s, hosted the game show tic-tac-toe.
Tic-tac-toe. There it is. Yeah. Always.
Don't you remember that? Yeah, the dragon. Had the dragon came out.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, you missed a 90210 question. Did you miss?
Oh God, I don't know. Something with Jenny Garth. I don't know. I'd watch the show when I'm an out-of-work actor and trying to get commercial work, and I'd watch the show, and I'm like, I can do this. Or like, sign up down on Hollywood Boulevard. I sure enough went down there, and they gave me a test. I scored the test. They said, you're on the show. I said, let's go. You know what I got out of it? I can't even think of the name of it. They sent me my parting gift was a velour sweatsuit from like, it wasn't Fila, it was like a Fila knockoff. But I got a velour sweatsuit from the game show Debt.
Wow.
How about that?
Fila knockoff right there. Hey, how much did you get paid for that Bud Light commercial where you got shot into that elephant's ass out of the cannon?
How much did I get for that?
Yeah, how much you get for that?
I was never going to say anything about this, all right? But that thing ran a cycle, okay? And it was taken out. It was bought for a cycle, which in commercial is they buy them in cycles. They're like 8 or 12-week cycles. So they went through an 8-week cycle, and I cleared $60,000.
You made $60,000 off that commercial. Are you kidding me?
Oh, absolutely. And not only that, that's when PETA came in on the second cycle and said, this is abuse to animals. Somebody's getting shot into the rear end of an elephant, and he's reacting.
You didn't even have any dialogue in it.
Budweiser pulled the commercial and cost me mucho bucks. How about that, the king of beers? So that's true. But with filming that thing, John, which was also 12 to 15 grand, I cleared about 70 some odd thousand for that commercial. Yes, there you go.
Man,
how about that?
You are.
That's what kind of
listen.
info
You're our version.
JMV.
You're our version of Forrest Gump. You know that? Seriously, you're
man.
like stinking Forrest Gump.
Hey, my book's got a lot of chapters, boys. I can't wait to write it. That's all I'm saying. I'm going to rip you in about chapter 12. I'm going to rip you.
Kyle Udemark, can you believe $70,000? Have you seen that commercial? He doesn't speak in it.
It's a pretty good commercial, and if PETA didn't get involved, that would have been six figures.
Dude, that was $100,000.
That wasn't even a Super Bowl commercial, though.
John, you don't know what you're talking about, all right?
I know, but I'm just making stuff up, and people are like laughing here. So yeah,
it absolutely was a Super Bowl commercial. What are you talking about?
It was a Super Bowl commercial.
Yeah.
Oh,
hey, you're a bad PR guy. I'll tell you that. Know who your guests are before you have them on, John.
It's the Gore Man in Baltimore too. All right, I know we got to get going here, and we got Joe going to join us coming up at the bottom of the hour. I did want to add this before I let you go. A year ago.
Hold on. Look at this guy. Okay, your buddy. He looks adorable in his suit. Chris Hagan down there. You can't miss him. You can't miss him. That's your little buddy down there. He's got his suit on today. Big smile. He's waving up here. How are you, little fun? Hey, buddy! Anyway, go ahead. I just said.
All right. A year ago, Carson Wentz played for the Eagles against the Ravens, correct? Got sacked 6 times last year. Now, obviously, comparing one to the other is not really fair, but last time out for the Ravens, I think Calais Campbell got him 3 times alone last year when he was with the Eagles, but the Ravens sacked Broncos quarterbacks 5 times last weekend. That seems like, with this Colts offensive line in the shape that it is right now, a bad sign. What say you?
Yeah, it's a bad sign, but these guys kind of come out and say, hey, we're here to play and do the best we can. It's a terrible, terrible front four that we are facing. The defensive front that they're bringing tonight, and mind you, they lost Matthew Judon last year. I mean, they've got Patrick Queen, they got Board on board. These linebackers, dude, I'm scared of this one. I'm just telling you, it's going to be a tough matchup, but I don't know, man. He's still hobbled with the ankles. I don't think 6 sacks is going to happen tonight. I don't think they'll put him in a position to get 6 sacks. So, but yeah, they'll be coming. John, this is a tough test. I don't want to play anybody on Monday night. I would not pick the Ravens to come to a Monday night game. Hey, we kind of need this one, boys. This is not the place I want to be.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. That's the Gore Man. More from him at the bottom of the hour when he joins us from M&T Bank Stadium in the press box, and Joe Wright's down at Emma's headquarters in studio with Cal Udemark joins us coming up at 5:30. Hey, I cannot believe I almost just quit just now when you said you got $70K out of that. That makes me sick.
Well,
seriously.
I didn't want to tell anybody. I love it.
Ill.
Bought me that BMW, my friend. I'll see you.
See? Freaking Forrest Gump. You believe that, Kyle? $70,000 for that commercial. You thought it was good? He doesn't speak in it.
He just screams. That's all you get from Gorman. I don't even know if it's actually his scream, but you can hear him screaming when he gets shot out of the cannon.
Man, why don't I go into acting? I could do that with no dialogue. And this is the tough stuff right here, guys. Talking. This is tough. Hey, joining us back at CarX for the final time in Brown. Actually, not for the final time. We're going to be here until 7:30, but at least for the final time during this show, Joe Childers, who is a longtime friend of the show in what is a grand opening week going on here, Northfield Drive in Brownsburg. I've had a blast here so far. Thanks for leaving this thing open until 7:30, too.
Oh, it's our pleasure to have you here and the station. We're having a great week. Looking forward to a lot of good stuff this weekend. For all you listeners, come out, enjoy our grand opening day on Saturday. We're going to be doing some fun stuff for the kids. We're going to have a bounce house, some ice cream and snow cones, a little bit of face painting. Anthony's going to be cooking some hot dogs, and we got a lot of good giveaways, and you can sign up for those right now through the end of the week. We'll make the drawing on Saturday, giving away a set of free tires, free oil changes for a year, brand new flat screen TV, and some car detailing. So please come out, join us here at CarX.
Well, you guys do a great job here, and again, you can sign up. It's over there on the table next to Sam and Sienna. Oh, man. See, I always think I'm going to mispronounce your name. Look at that. Guy from Greene County coming big with that pronunciation.
That was pretty cool.
They got that right there. You can sign up, set of 4 tires, 1 year of free oil changes, and a flat screen TV as well. 14 overall in Central Indiana. This is the newest location of CarX.
Absolutely. We're proud to open our 14th store. We're in about every suburb around the Donut area, and we're in inner city as well. Our company started in 1972. I've been blessed to work here for 44 years, and
this is what you've done this for 44 years.
You know,
that's an amazing run right there.
You know, I when they hired me, I told them I'd work here as long as I was having fun, and I'm having a blast.
That's awesome. 44 years.
Right.
But it did make you sick whenever you heard Gorman say that he got $70K off of a Budweiser commercial.
You know, he's a hard act to follow.
Yeah.
$70K,
well,
you know?
yeah. Act. He's definitely an act. Yeah.
I remember that commercial, and I don't know that I like it as much as Kyle does.
Yeah. I mean, you remember that? You got shot right in the elephant's rear end right there.
It didn't entice me to go get a beer. Buy their beer.
It is something, but that is pretty good. But yeah, thanks for everything you do for us.
No problem.
Of the station.
Thank you.
Absolutely love it, and like I told you, one of the great, I think, examples of maintaining your car, truck, or van is what I have in a truck right now that's got 275,000 miles on it, most of which has been serviced by many of your CarX locations, including down in Greenwood off 135, over in Plainfield too, where Micah is right now. A couple of different times, I think, over in Beech Grove as well. So we've been around, and that is, if you want your vehicle to last as long as possible, that is a way to maintain right there.
You're absolutely a living testimony of what taking care of your car can do for you.
It may not look like it from the outside sometimes, but the inside.
You're not out there buying one at the escalated prices right now. So we'll just keep it going for you as long as you want to bring it in.
It is running smoothly. We got the new GMC Acadia. You guys service that as well and do a tremendous job with it. But thanks for everything you do.
No, thank you very much for being a long-time customer. We appreciate it.
So, Joe Childers right there. The grand opening week continues through this Saturday when they're going to have a celebration right here, the Northfield Drive location of CarX. Got any quick thoughts on MLB?
Well, I think
because I know the Yankees bailed.
Yeah, so I'm still rooting for Lance Lynn, the Brownsburg graduate, and the Chicago White Sox. I'm primarily an American League fan anyway, and I went to high school with Lance's dad, Mike. So hopefully he can bounce back and have a better outing next time he pitches.
Yeah, how about the Brewers on the brink right now, too? Jock Peterson seems to show up this time of year. He did in a Dodger uniform, 3-run pinch hit home run today, too.
Right. Brewers look so strong all year, it kind of surprises you. Our Reds came close, but they fell short there at the end. But I'm looking forward to Cincinnati Reds baseball next year. I think they're going to give the Brewers a run.
All right, Joe Childers right here. CarX, thanks, buddy.
Thank you, sir.
Joe
Bye-bye.
Childers, grand opening week continues here at CarX. The show continues at CarX, although we'll change the name. It is going to be the Colts pregame huddle, where Joe Wrights, the former Colts offensive lineman, in studio at Emmis downtown, and the Gorman rejoins us. Coming up from Baltimore and M&T Bank Stadium. More to come. All you need to know. We'll revisit the sack total a year ago against Carson Wentz for the Ravens, and the Ravens' work in Denver last weekend as well, coming up at the bottom of the hour. Live in Brownsburg, the CarX location. Got more to come, because here comes the Colts pregame huddle. Sit tight. We got all you need to know from Monday Night Football coming up. 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. Don't go away.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. Your home for indie sports. Now with even more ways to listen.
Listen on air.
Online at 1075thefan.com.
And on our free app.
Stay connected to all things indie sports, including the latest news, show blogs, and catch up on what you've missed with our podcast.
We're never more than just a click away.
Download our app at Google Play and on the App Store. From your home for indie sports.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Hey, it's John for CarX and the 14 Central Indiana locations, and the one I want you to dial into is the one here off Northfield Drive. CarX, brand new to Brownsburg here, and the fact they're having a grand opening week that culminates in what should be a fantastic Saturday ride here. Got your chance when you slide by to enter to win a set of 4 tires, 1 year of free oil changes, and a flat screen TV while you're here, and getting the best service anywhere to maintain your level of car driving ability. When you're going into the fall and things are going to start to get cold as we get further in, maintain your fall driving prowess. Car, truck, or van, they got the service for you that you can absolutely count on. 14 Central Indiana CarX locations to serve you. For the one nearest you, dial them up and check them out today. CarX.com.
Get the service that you deserve and refinance today at HeroLoan.com. The only way to VA.
The Home Loan Expert LLC, NMLS number 1326241.
Dear driver, thank you. Thank you for slowing down when you saw the orange cones and road construction signs. My husband is one of those road workers. And today, you saved his life. If you hadn't slowed down, you would have missed that lane change, driven right into the work zone, and you would have killed him. Because you were driving differently. He'll be at our son's Little League game this weekend. He'll be there to walk our daughter down the aisle. He'll be out there tomorrow, making Indiana's roads safer. Thank you.
When driving in a construction zone, be smart, be alert, be in the zone.
This is Ward Daniels, business manager of Labor's Local 120. Everyone deserves a safe place to work. Do your part in the cone zone. Slow down, open your eyes, pay attention.
A message from Indiana's District Council of Laborers International Union of North America and affiliated locals.
Hey, this is Jeff Saturday, and you've heard